Look, this is Yeza in the building, representing for Sister Lil. Big up yourself, my sister.
Greetings and welcome one and all to the Sister Lil show on Bless Radio. For those of you who can't get us on the FM, it's www.blessradio.org. And tonight we have a special guest, and that is Jad Nile, also known as Young Ruler. For those of you who are curious, this is Gregory Isaac's son. And we will be talking with him a little bit later, but first we're going to start with playing a couple of his tracks from the album Ragamuffin Rasta. Here we go.
Some people don't understand how life is slippery, you see it. Enough of them get caught in the trickery. Yeah, we tell life vision. This is my choice, open up an eye. Happiness in the average mind to it is the size of a beast. But I play with the poor, I got find it hard be rich. But I who set it, but I who set it, but I who set it, who set it. Happiness in the average mind to it is the size of a beast. But I play with the poor, I got find it hard be rich. But I who set it, but I who set it, but I who set it, who set it. Some people know them lost in the judgment, caught in the system and suspense. Just have your mind and free from all the coverage. Don't forget nastiness and live a life where fully conscious. Response to your life, no one lower all the nonsense. Elevate your mind space from room to a mansion. Uptown from grand spend, light it a transcend. Best let me live no clean and responsive. But somehow no people are no conscience. In all the average mind to it is the size of a beast. But I play with them poor, I got find it hard be rich. But I who set it, but I who set it, but I who set it, who set it. Happiness in the average mind to it is the size of a beast. But I play with them poor, I got find it hard be rich. But I who set it, but I who set it, but I who set it, who set it. Yo, back in the days, people good. All I smoke pan lamb spread. No for the bread, no people can't buy spread. Just be sure your old time straight. Wanna breed and wish the youth dead. Some people find it hard while some are bluff and play dead. Some a set you up and them a call all fakes. Some of them a switch and cut locks from them head. Cause they no know say them blade. Happiness in the average mind to it is the size of a beast. But I play with them poor rock and find it hard to reach. But I who set it, but I who set it, but I who set it, who set it. Happiness in the average mind to it is the size of a beast. But I play with them poor rock and find it hard to reach. But I who set it, but I who set it, but I who who set it, who set it. Some people know them laughing at the judgment, caught in the system and suspense. Just have your mind and free from a leak of breath. Don't forget happiness and live a life where fully conscious. Respond to your life, no one lower all the nonsense. Elevate your mind space from room to a mansion. Uptown from grand spend, life it a transcend. Best let me live now clean and responsible. Somehow no people now no content. This is the average mind through it is life of a beast. But I play with it for rockers when it touch the reach. But I who set it, but I who set it, but I who set it, who set it. Happiness in the average mind through it is the sight of a beast. But I play with it for rockers when it touch the reach. But I who set it, but I who set it, but I who set it, who set it. How many people get a second chance at life?
This one is called Second Chance on the Top.
See, if you get a second chance, the best thing you can do is good with it. What I say? Yo, me get a second chance at life and make it right. Me start to fight some people, them I love my vibes. Me not go play with me future. Give thanks now to the creator. Me get a second chance at life and make it right. No man a boss and a fly away like a kite. Me nah go play with me future. Give thanks now to the creator. Transform the business from all like animation. Now me get a platform and speak out to the nation. No more hardship, just straight elevation. No more broke life, just straight celebration. Vibes and love are colors of creation. All levels of life, no matter what your occupation. No matter if you work a bank or you a roadman, man a real rasta man, so not deal with no segregation. Me get a second chance of life and make it right. Me start to fight some people, them I love my vibes. Me nah go play with me future. Give thanks now to the creator. Me get a second chance of life and make it right. No man a boss and a fly away like a kite. Me nah go play with me future. Give thanks now to the creator. Say man a step out of Babylon. In a me wool and me trench coat and me Gideons. Man a step in a bubble and show say man a real rasta man and we no follow man. Keep it real, no like me read back to Solomon. Keep it real, no like me music back to Papa San. Always stay real, don't change. Man born as a proper man. Hold me head high now in a this I'm a Gideon. In a this I'm a Gideon. Can't turn fool if you want stay long. Have a calm and stay strong. Me get a second chance of life and make it right. Me start to fight some people, them I love my vibes. Me nah go play with me future. Give thanks now to the creator. Me get a second chance of life and make it right. No man a boss and a fly away like a kite. Me nah go play with me future. Give thanks now to the creator. Transform the business from all like animation. Now me get a platform and speak out to the nation. No more hardship, just straight elevation. No more broke life, just straight celebration. Vibes and love are colors of creation. All levels of life, no matter what your occupation. No matter if you work a bank or you a roadman, man a real rasta man, so not deal with the segregation. Me get a second chance of life and make it right. Me start to fight some people, them I love my vibes. Me nah go play with me future. Give thanks now to the creator. Me get a second chance of life and make it right. No man a boss and a fly away like a kite. Me nah go play with me future. Give thanks now to the creator. Yeah. Up some man them a run up and down and make some tunes, you know. I don't know what kind of music them there. Like when I try to come kill the vibes. I want to them people, I don't know grow up on good music. What I say? Yo, we no deal with boogie yaga, we no deal with pretend things. We like
This one is straight authentic music on the Sabotage Rhythm.
straight authentic music. Straight authentic music. We no deal with boogie yaga, we no deal with pretend things. We life not cheap, we life is expensive. Straight authentic music. Straight authentic music in the mind, music in the soul, music for the young and music for the old. No matter where the vibes you in a full control. Feel it in your heart and you will feel it in your soul. Feel it in your feet, feel it in your dome. Everyone feels same way, you not feel it alone. Music can make you strong, music can make you bold. Rubber dub and roots, it go down to the soul. Touch everybody core with the vibes where you flow. One by one, just like dominoes when we sing. We no deal with boogie yaga, we no deal with pretense things. We life not cheap, we life is expensive. Straight authentic music, straight authentic music. We no deal with boogie yaga, we no deal with pretense things. We life not cheap, we life is expensive. Straight authentic music, straight authentic music in my life, music in my home, music in my ear, yeah. Music in my zone of artists, them they a me no make tunes alone. Music in my voice, music in my nose, music in my pulse, music in my toes, music in my vibes and music in my clothes. As long as it's good, we no refuse none of those. We no deal with boogie yaga, we no deal with pretense things. We life not cheap, we life is expensive. Straight authentic music, straight authentic music. We no deal with boogie yaga, we no deal with pretense things. We life not cheap, we life is expensive. Straight authentic music, straight authentic music in the mind, music in the soul, music for the young and music for the old. No matter where the vibes you in a full control. Feel it in your heart and you will feel it in your soul. Feel it in your feet, feel it in your dome. Everyone feels same way, you now feel it alone. Music can make you strong, music can make you bold. Rubber dub and roots, it go down to the soul. Touch everybody core with the vibes where you flow. One by one, just like dominoes when we sing. We no deal with boogie yaga, we no deal with pretense things. We life not cheap, we life is expensive. Straight authentic music, straight authentic music. We no deal with boogie yaga, we no deal with pretense things. We life not cheap, we life is expensive. Straight authentic music, straight authentic music.
Yes, yes, that was the couple of tracks there from J. Nile. And it was off his album Rasta Muffin. So JNL, also known as Young Ruler, you've worked with a lot of people to date from all over the world, from Jamaica to Africa, from Europe to Los Angeles. From Europe to Los Angeles, and you know you distributed throughout the country. There's also right here in the UK, from London to Manchester, with the likes of Black Dread Records, Supertone, HMV Tower, Dub Vendor, Reed's Records, and so much more. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about those wonderful things and those great people and great places that you've worked?
Yes. Greetings, people. Yes, world. Young Ruler in the house. Basically, I've done a lot of distribution.
Yes.
And I used to distribute for my father. And through that, it's made me travel a lot, you know. Like I said, dealing with a lot of these record stores around the country and international distribution as well, you know what I mean? So that's how I got to come across quite a lot of these people. And through my own
Yes, of course. And you've also worked with a lot of people like Ray Crawford from X-Ray Music, Tripper Irie from Lockdown Productions, Danny from Tree of Life, Quality from New Birth Records, and, you know, Gabby Ranks, Redman, and the valuable Trevor T from Tippertone.
Yeah.
And you've also were a resident artist on Java Nuclear.
Yeah, I was a resident artist on Java Nuclear for a while, you know. My career started on a song named Corruption, for which the little sound in the community what we used to be on.
Yeah.
And what we done is we elevate from, well, I elevated from Corruption sound and went to Vigilante sound, which had the likes of Rudy King and Titler and Governor Tiggy and so forth on the sound. Sparks, you know, even Starkey Bantan would dip on it. And from there, Starkey carried me to Java.
Oh, okay.
You know, Starkey Bantan carried me to Java. Big up Starkey anyway there in the world.
Give thanks. So I want to kind of rewind slightly and take it back to your beginnings. So, you know, tell me a little bit about how growing up in Jamaica made you the person that you are today.
Well, I grew up in numerous of places. You know, I spent a majority of my time within Jamaica and UK, but I grew up in different places. But I suppose Jamaica had influences on my life, you know, because Jamaica lifestyle is different to UK.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Musically, Jamaica's lifestyle is different to UK also. So it's like, you know, the vibes, the energy, the levels, the life, the people. It's all different to here.
And did you find that that kind of foundation of being able to be in two different places throughout the early years of your development, especially musically, it really helped to develop your understanding of a wider scope of what the music industry within the reggae scene is?
Yeah, it did, because in UK itself, as people know, like growing up in UK, because let's make the people them know and understand the fullness, because I was born in UK. You know, that's what they need to understand and full, you know, and get first and foremost. So it's like lifestyle in the UK is different, as I said, to Jamaica, because in UK, like musically, back in the day, you used to have reggae come on once a week with David Rodigan, reggae time, yeah? And with that, you get a good selection of music, and you get for full joy the music in between a little piece of time there. But if you came from a household that did not possess or own reggae, you wouldn't know anything about reggae outside of that, unless you went and sourced it. Yeah,
especially if you came from quite a religious background in the Caribbean.
You know, so some people had like rock in their house. Some people, you know, Shaking Stevens and all kind of different music, Madness or whatever.
Yes.
So your musical ear would be different in the UK back then, because you would have to listen to mainly what was given to you to listen to, outside of what your family listens to. Where in Jamaica now, plurally, the country listens to a different type of music to UK.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean? So you're exposed to a lot more of your kind of music, I should say, as in your nationality music or your color music. Or, do you get what I'm trying to say? Outside of every other genre or nationality that has been put there. So it's that the influences are different, you know, and it has an impact on a person.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, I can understand what you mean on that, because when you are very young and you are taken back and forth from the Caribbean and other countries as well, it widens your understanding of people.
Definitely, because you come across a lot of people, and you know what an 8-year-old is doing in Jamaica is different to an 8-year-old in England, is different to an 8-year-old America.
Yeah. That 8-year-old that travels to all those places, or at least 2 out of the 3 of those places, will be the impression on their minds will be quite vast.
Yeah.
And I guess it will, and also their ear. So for you as a musician, hearing sounds that are quite different in different places would have really widened your library. Yeah,
it would have. Well, it has. You know, it's like musically. Yeah, I listen to a lot of music because I like music plural. I don't just listen to reggae music. I listen to all kind of music. I listen to classical music. I listen to rock music. You know, if I hear something and I like the sound, or the sound is pleasing to my ear, it's something I like.
Well, that's a testament of a true musician, because it's more about the quality of the sound that you hear, and rather than just being a specific genre.
Yeah, genre is something where people are. As an artist, if you grounds yourself to say, all right, I'm a reggae artist and that's all I'm gonna do, you're putting limitations on yourself.
Yeah, true.
And I don't put no limitations on my life.
No, that's good.
You know.
Yeah.
So right there, that's stopping yourself from actually exploring, from learning, from doing what you might not have done, coming out of the comfort zone, seeing if that was where you're supposed to be. All of those, the aboves.
Yeah.
You're stopping yourself from, experiencing.
Definitely. So I want to talk a bit about your creative process. So, for example, you've worked with many people to date, like Ray Crawford from X-Ray Music, and
That's
other people. Yeah. So you've worked with quite a wide range of people, and had different experiences. So what I'd like to ask you is, do you have one particular style that you apply to different situations, or is it that you alter your style, because some artists only have one style and that's their output.
A lot of artists are stuck like that. You see, you see, with my, all right, what's happened with me is this. The reason why I'm different to most artists is, let's put my dad and how that part of my background to the side, and come back to like my creative process, like what you just said. What makes me different to not a lot of artists, but to every artist that I know, is that not every artist in the world, every artist I know, is that I used to DJ just like everybody else back in the day, and I was on Java. But then after that road, when it came to the recording road, I stopped.
Oh, okay.
So everyone started recording and doing records and shows or whatever it is they was doing. I stopped.
Okay.
Then when we came into this, you could say fully pledged internet world where it's about videos and you know, a different type of life, I came back into music then. And then when it comes like to dealing with full on deep reggae music, I came back into that, like you can say 2010, 2011, right? So with that, my style has been put on ice.
Okay.
You get what I mean? So I've come back with my style fresh, where everyone's been working over the years. I haven't. So my style is still fresh, and then I've been learning over the years, as in, for instance, music change, time change. So I'm influenced by music over the years too. So it's making my style more influential in a sense of, you know, where has this come from? Do you get what I mean?
And I guess when you take a break from it, what you're also doing is giving yourself the ability to reflect on previous work, the change, and then also you come back with an evolutionary state within your musical
because you can
understanding.
evolve on what you were doing before, and you can more create your style. You can craft yourself better. And this is what it is now. I'm like more into my lane now. Like a couple years ago, I was doing music and I was wondering why I weren't getting certain credibility for what I was doing, because lyrically I know the lyrics are there. You know, I write all of my own lyrics, and I test them by people to hear what their opinion is, because obviously you got your opinion of what you hear. It's like making it like a producer. A producer makes rhythms, and you can always tell when it comes from a certain producer, because he's got a certain sound.
Exactly.
Do you see what I mean? You get stuck in your lane.
Yes.
So because of that, when you make stuff, it's good to test it with people that's in another lane. You know, for them to give you like real criticism.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. Especially if they are straight music lovers.
Definitely.
Because then they'll have that. It's not
they
just
got
one.
They got an open mind and ear, you know.
Exactly.
So they're gonna just tell you it for what it is.
Exactly. And for example, you know, a lot of people believe nowadays that there's a huge loss in the integrity of, say, reggae music.
Definitely.
So I was going to ask you to respond, but that was
definitely. Reggae music is taking a what they call it, a nosedive.
Dip. And for example, how do you plan to prove them wrong?
Well, if people listen to my music and they listen, if people followed my journey, or who's just logged on to me now, and it's just, you know, like over the last few months or the year, the tunes that they've been hearing of me and just got onto my career, if they go back and backtrack into my career, they will see that at some point you could say I got lost along the way too. Do you get what I mean? And some of my music is derogative to a point, some of it, where, to be honest, the reason why it's still out there where people can see it is because I can't get rid of it. Do you get what I mean? But
isn't this also part
of my
of
journey? It's part of my journey at the same time. So that's the reason why it doesn't reflect on me in the sense of, oh, I got to get rid of it. Do you get what I mean? I would like to, but if it's there, it's there. But with saying that, sorry, with saying that, reggae music has got like a bad reputation at the minute. Do you get what I mean? It's like within UK, it's got a bad reputation. That's what I should say. Not within the world, because when you go to Europe and you hear reggae music, it's a whole different type of reggae.
You know? And it's very much loved.
Very good reggae. And they're appreciative to reggae. It's like you go to an event here, not knocking my country, not knocking my people, but you go to an event here, the vibe you get in the event towards artists, towards the people presenting the entertainment for the night and so forth for one. It's totally different to Europe. Totally different.
But I think that's because over here, people have become more absorbed into what's coming out of America. So the youth culture...
To a degree. But I believe it's come down to people are too familiarized with people. And that's the reason why no one don't see me. Because when people see you too much, they're not really appreciative to come and see you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like when they come to see you, they're seeing you and they appreciate what you do, but they're not giving that full appreciation because you're too local.
Yeah,
you understand what I mean?
Too familiarity.
That's exactly what it is. A person will more run in a shop and buy a Taurus Riley more than they will buy your tune, and they might love your tune more than Taurus Riley's.
Yeah.
But because they can't see Taurus Riley, they will buy it. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And it's that, you know. So I kind of don't intend to go to every event. I don't really. People don't really see me. Put it that way.
But then I think having that low visibility is very good, because having a lot of visibility when it comes to, you know, people seeing your face, there isn't that awe, there isn't that wonder, like you're saying. There isn't that.
There isn't that element of suspense or whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, you can take yourself away out of public domain and people forget about you, because there's so many artists around that's actually. It's not like they ain't doing good music. They are. Yeah. There's so many good artists that's doing good music. A lot of them might not be getting the full recognition that they should, but they are good. But and sorry, but the thing what I like, I love when artists come out with good music, because to me, music ain't a competition, innit? You know, a lot of people look on it in a competitive way. I don't look on it on that competitive stance. I tell you what I look at it. I look at it as a standard. So it's like, if I do a song and I consider it, or the people that are around me consider it to be of a certain standard, and the next person comes out with a song and it's of a standard, I like to gravitate to songs. I like music, so I'm more than likely singing man's music when I'm singing my own. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? But so it's like, when they up the standard, it makes me go to work.
Well, that's good.
You know
that's,
what I'm saying? I like
thanks,
that. But some artists don't like that. When you put the work standard to the song, they hate it. You can see it in their reflection on social media.
But that's just their uncomfortability with where they are at musically and where they want to be.
We're all in that place.
You know, it's about progress and development and, you know, fine-tuning your skill. But what I'd like to say about people feeling uncomfortable in other people's reflections is that it's about being comfortable with what you are doing and know that you have your own mission.
Definitely me. All right, with my mission, no one can't deter me off of my mission.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
As I've got a saying where I say, you have to learn how to creep before you learn how to crawl.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, with saying that, you know, mine's good. It's like it's gone low.
One, two, three. Let's try that one now.
1, 2. Yeah, so as I was saying, like, you know, you have to learn how to creep before you learn. You have to learn how to run before you can jump wall, you know? Yeah. And naturally, that's just what it is. So, if, you know, things come in stages and you can't expect everything overnight. Do you get what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I put in a lot of hard work, and a lot of people put in hard work. There's times when I sit down and I say to myself, do you know what? I put in so much work and it looks like I ain't getting the credibility for what I did. But then I will reflect back in myself and say, you know what? It's all good, because with music, what I've got to realize is, you might put out a song now, and the feelings you're getting from the song now, you expect people to get that feeling from the song now. Yeah. It doesn't always work that way.
No.
You don't know, the song will be out there, and it might be out there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people's just gravitating to what you were saying in that song now.
Yeah,
you know?
It's about how far, how many audiences it's reached, because I just think it's like a delayed reaction.
That's with any music. It's like, for instance, the rhythms that people are using of date. All right, I'll give you an example on that.
Yeah.
Where a few years ago, I used to do reggae, I used to do bashment, I used to do, you know, dancehall music, and yes, I had certain foundational tunes in between that, but I wasn't getting the rhythms that I wanted.
Okay.
So I could only work with what I could get in order to be able to make the people them hear my lyrical ear, you know. But I couldn't please my my unique crowd that I wanted to get to, because I wasn't giving them the rhythms they want to hear.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So on getting the rhythms that I could get, like, after a while, when I started getting the rhythms to please my crowd, it started to change my audience, and it started to do better for me musically. More people start for opening up their ears for you what I gotta say, and then it's made them backtrack now and go listen to what I was doing before. Now forget for you, the lyrical content hasn't changed. It's just in a different setting,
style,
or a different genre, you know. But music is hard. You get what I mean? It's not an easy road. Put it that way. Just like a butcher say, you see it on an easy road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it perseverance with anything makes a person, you know, achieve what they're trying to achieve.
Well, it's a bit like practice makes perfect. So
it does,
yeah.
But you can practice too much and get too perfect and get arrogant with it and lose it. So it's about your lifestyle and about you as an individual too. It's not just your craft. I know a lot of people that's talented, but talent doesn't carry you.
Yeah, it's about being in balance, though, within harmony within yourself. Because once you're in harmony with yourself and in balance, you will be able to output great music or great art in whichever form it comes in, but great musical content in your case, and in other people who are musical. Because if you spend your time just worrying about like your craft rather than developing it, you ain't getting nowhere apart from looking in the mirror.
You know, you have to. It takes practice. It's a bit like when you go on social media and you might turn your phone on and go on Facebook or Instagram, and as it pops up on the phone, there's a video there of some girl dancing in the mirror or whatever it is, and she might not even be doing the dance right or good, or you know, it gives you joke where you're there laughing about it. At the same time as you're looking on that little video and you're laughing, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, making.
You're supposed to be in the mirror there, practicing your craft.
Thank you. Wonderful.
You might not. When you film and you look back on it, your friends might laugh at it because you ain't actually got it yet. But within practice, you're going to have it.
Yes.
You know, you look back at your performances, and instead of saying, "No, I don't like that one," don't put it up online. Put it there. Yeah. You know, because if you're going to grow, people's going to see that with the other performances and say to themselves, "You know what? This guy's developed."
Yes.
You know, just like how you're watching it. That's what. But that's what I do anyway.
Yeah. No, but it is a development process for an artistic mind.
Definitely. Every performance is different. You know, some you might applaud to yourself as, "Yeah, that was a great one," or "I really liked that one," or "enjoyed that one," and the next one you might say, "No, I hated that day. That wasn't a nice day." Nevertheless, their performances, and no two performances is going to be the same.
No.
You're entertaining a crowd of people, and no two crowds are the same. You know,
it's a bit like
two events are the same.
Yeah.
No set day feeling is the same.
Oh, it can't, because it's like taking a photograph. It's at that moment in time that you have that. So with a photograph, you capture that moment in time. With music, you play at or produce at that moment in time.
Definitely.
And it's not a time that you can't bring back that time.
Just like I got 2 new videos online where I went to Don Sinclair Reggae Vibes, and I had the day set for over a month already. But the time when I actually got the day to turn up, I weren't feeling well.
Okay.
My throat was bothering me for the last maybe 9 days or so, and like I went to go get medication and stuff. And I wasn't doing that. But I said to myself, if I don't go, the opportunity might not present itself again, because I might not, you know, feel the will to want to go again.
But it's like, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I work off energy. So true to that, I said to myself, I'm gonna go, because worst case scenario, I don't deliver as I'm supposed to, but I went and I gave it a try, more than I just discourage myself and tell myself I can't do it. And in the end, it turned out for the best.
Yeah, you see? So it's always those situations where, I can't be bothered, no, I don't want to do it. And you're not, like you said, it's an energy thing. You're not feeling that vibration. We all have those experiences, so we can understand what Jay Nile is saying here. So we all have the experience where we don't really want to do something. We're not in the mood. We don't feel that vibration right. But then we push ourselves to go out, and then we feel great afterwards.
You know, it's like events. Every show that I do, I'm nervous about every show.
Really?
Of course.
Okay.
It's just a natural reaction. You know, nervous about every every show, interview, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is.
Okay.
You've got some sense of nerves.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you're arrogant.
Yes.
That's how I see it. You know, and I'm not saying that a person that does 1,000 shows, even if you do 1,000 shows, is what I'm saying, and you're gonna take the 1,001 show,
Yeah.
like it's the last show.
Yeah.
You're arrogant. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Because at the
absolutely.
end of the day, every crowd, as I said, every event, every place, every set time is different. You know, to 9:01 is different to 9:02.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
it's just like that. So when I go to an event, yeah, I am nervous before I go up. I've had times where I've forgotten all my lyrics, and I'm the next person up on the stage.
Oh wow, that's that's a lot of
Go
nerves.
bathroom and run one of my rhythms in my ears, and then it's like I've caught the vibe straight away again, and then I'm
that's
good,
what-
I'm good to go. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's just one of them things. Sometimes you get memory blank, but
Yeah.
it's not you don't know your lyrics. It's just
Nerves.
happens,
It's
you know,
a,
it just
yeah,
happens.
just that reaction. Yeah. So you were talking about coming back onto through social media way, like using this modern media.
I came back with the modern media, and with that, because I started university and I was doing filming and stuff. So with that, I wanted to film, and now I was in a position where I understand how filming works. I could film my own stuff, and I know how to put it up and how to keep myself within the lines of legality or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I know the sort of things that I want to talk about, and I know kind of how to surface the line and speak without getting myself into trouble. So I started doing that.
That's really so. So, how easily accessible? So this easily accessible technology, how do you feel it influenced the roots sound in general?
This technology has damaged music. You know?
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
Like I don't want people to think that I'm sitting here saying that technology is the best thing that happened to music, like this fast way of moving music or whatnot, and eliminating vinyl and things like that. I don't see that as the way forward, because I'd be a hypocrite, because my music's on vinyl now. You know, I've just started to press back vinyl with my music right now.
Oh, wonderful.
So,
oh, wow.
you know, for the vinyl lovers, they can find music out on all the vinyl distributors of me now, right now. With like most of the new stuff that I've got. But then, yeah, the internet itself, it has damaged music. It's damaged music big, because just like what I was saying in the past, what you was exposed to in your home was the music you knew. What your friends' family listened to when you actually visited your friends was what you was exposed to outside of the home.
Yeah.
General radio back then played the same thing
Yeah.
on all stations, and they didn't have that much stations playing music. There was more chat. Yeah, so with saying that, you had to go and source music back then. Yeah. So a lot of people, like, enough people nowadays, old school people, kings and queens, where deal with music or is into music or love music or play music, they can tell you more about music than the average person of these days. And I tell you why. Because music now is accessible at the fingertip. So because of that, people don't research.
No, because we're in
They
a
can do it lastminute.com.
yeah, and it's because it's a digital. It's everything's digital. It's just fast. It's a throwaway world.
That's what I'm saying. Back then, people knew artists. They knew genres. They knew when music came out. Now it's like, all right, just like what we were saying about Facebook. And yeah, we are using the name, and them can't blast with it. But that's the truth. Somewhere in a public domain. But just like using that, where you turn on your phone. Wait, let me get back to something first before I get to that. There was a thing that I watched the other day where they asked you, how many times do you think you touch your phone for the day? And
probably.
they gave you a scenario of, what did they say, 231 times or 2,301 times or 23,300 and something other times. And it worked out to be 23,000 something times.
Most people touch their phone on average.
Yeah.
That's excessive.
And it's excessive.
Yeah.
But then what it works out to be is when you're moving stuff down on the phone, you might touch it 10 times just to move it to the next
Okay,
image.
fair enough, yeah.
So it still shows you how excessively they're on the phone. Yeah. But nevertheless, as something pops up on the phone, is what I was getting to is, if you go to the kitchen and come back to the telephone, that's no longer on the phone.
Yeah.
That's how people's minds are working, you know. So a person will see something or hear something today, and by tomorrow they don't remember it. That's you know, not knocking on, but that's how a lot of DJs are.
But that's because everything's just you're doing information overload.
You are, but you see, if people stick to scripts,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like life itself is speeding up and moving fast. So it's for an individual to slow their life down,
Yes.
not to work with the times and go faster. Because
Yeah.
if you keep going faster with them, they're only going to speed it up. Then what do? Do you see what I mean? It makes information in a place where people can't process it.
Well, yeah, because it's happening now anyway.
Yeah.
Instead of remembering your telephone numbers, you now have a drop-down list
course.
of your contacts.
That's exactly what people are doing. People don't remember stuff no more. When was, you know, you ask a lot of people, when was the last time you actually wrote a letter? Went to the post office and bought a stamp and put on it. How much is a stamp? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of people don't know these sort of things, and a lot of people, when it comes to writing, they don't write normal anymore.
Yeah.
They write text talk
Yes. Yeah.
and shorthand.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what it's becoming to. So it's like
Well, that
broken
means
English has become even more broken English.
yeah, and it's to do with the it's just trying. It's because, as I was saying, everybody's trying to do everything too fast because we're just constantly scrolling on things. So we're never taking the time to actually do things properly.
No, because we don't want to.
No,
because when you really, if you really check the bigger picture of it, right? You have we have a epidemic in the country, yeah, of obesity, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
All right. So once upon a time, we never had obesity in England.
Yeah,
that was an
it's
American
true.
thing.
Yeah.
Used to watch people in America, and they got some genes where you're wondering how did they make those genes? Look at the size of them. Right now in England, they've got regular stores that's selling jeans that's a ridiculous size
yeah.
because of how people are becoming. But then at the same time,
It's the
they're
food.
gonna make machines like what a certain company out there has that can turn the lights off.
Yeah.
It can turn the heater on. It can turn the Hoover on.
Yeah.
It can carry the plates to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So why are you gonna make those sort of things selling? Well, once upon a time we had restrictions on things that we could sell and buy. You know.
Yeah. We
Now you
used
can buy
to.
anything, but yet still you're trying to counteract a problem we have. Don't make any sense.
No.
None of that
But
don't
then,
make no sense.
because we, you see, that's leading people. You're dumbing down people.
That's
and
exactly
needing...
what I was getting to. I just
Yes.
wanted you to say.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna overload people with stuff that they don't need and things that's gonna make them do things that's gonna creatively make them have a problem for themselves, that's exactly what you're doing, isn't it? You're dumbing them down because in one hand you're telling them that they need to do something about it, and on the other hand you're giving them stuff to where they can't do anything about it.
Well, you see, they need to have population controls, and the reason why you need population controls is due to the quantity of people globally.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna have that. If you notice,
But that's what they're trying.
That's why Britain. Yeah, but Britain doesn't have a border.
No.
And Britain doesn't have a accountability system of people coming in the country either. They don't care about how many people come into the country.
No.
For the simple reason, when you're ready to leave, you leave. If you don't leave when you're supposed to, when we find you, we find you.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of you. It's just that. America, they know everyone that comes in. For the simple reason, they want you out when time comes. You know, Jamaica's got that same
Definitely.
system. If you come from
Yes.
Britain and you're in Jamaica and you overstay time, immigration will come to your house.
Yeah, come and get
But
you.
in England, we don't have that because it's partially to all of the countries that we've taken from,
Yeah.
you know, defiled, dealt with wrongly, and so forth. Do you get what I mean? So there's a lot of
Absolutely.
things around it. To get, you know, and to get to the bottom of some of those things, it could take forever. But there's things that we can do to change stuff for ourselves.
Yeah, it's about choices.
It is about choices.
Because
and,
we still have ability to,
you know,
to do our own. We are thinking a bit. It's not all is lost. But while we're in this state of all is not lost yet, this is when those who know or those who want to know can make choices to stay true to themselves.
that's why I stay true to my music.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why I
so-
only talk positiveness in my music
exactly.
and teach people.
And that's the only way to go forward. Absolutely. So, do you think reggae can gain in popularity? Well, at the same time, it also has become less relevant to the mainstream.
No, it's gained in popularity because it's a couple. It's like saying, I wouldn't say a couple. It's more than a couple, but it's like a few big wigs, so to speak. You know, like sitting down in a room and saying, do you know what, we're going to demoralize that, you know, because that's getting too powerful. And with that getting powerful, it lets out too much entities and too much people's in the position to change stuff, you know? So let's put a spanner in that works. And by doing that, the first thing we do is we take away the platform. Where if there's no platform, I remember you used to have Black Echo and all of these papers used to have charts in them.
Yeah.
And those were the main charts that everywhere around the world used to follow. Yeah. Those things got demoralized first.
Yes.
Then all of the other record shows that was like the gibbet shops, where if people out there don't understand what gibbet means, it's where they used to go and do the scouting in the shops on record sales to find out who was selling the most for the week.
Yeah.
And that used to go into the charts. All of these things have been demoralized. And because of that, there's no platform. Then they've taken away the clubs.
Yeah.
So you're minimized to where you can go with your shindig.
Yes.
Yeah? And by doing that, you're set in certain places. Then they might put it in high crime populated places. And then they might put certain strenuous things on top of it so it makes people more depressed when they're going out to deal with it. But then you got the next angle, which is the sound of the programs that people's using to actually make the music. I know that I'm getting on, but I'm actually giving them some insight.
Insight, yeah.
You know, the 44.1 and the 48 hertz that they've got us using is not the natural sound for music to be bouncing on. And if people go and listen to a Lionel Richie or Stevie Wonder or whatever and put it in and find the hertz, they will see what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna give you the natural number, but you will find it for yourself if you go and look.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Wonderful. And right now, who are some of your favourite artists?
I've got loads of artists
Okay.
that I like.
Say pick 3.
Outside of my father,
Yeah.
Dennis Brown.
Nice.
You know, I really like Dennis Brown. I like Juna Reid.
Yes.
Yami Bolo. I can go on.
Okay.
You know, because I like loads of artists. I like Ibaka and Pyramid. There's loads of artists I like, man, because they all bring something different.
Different, yes.
You know, I like Russ Ranger. There's artists around that bring something different. If it's not energy, it's lyrical content or it's deliverance or something. They bring something outside of what's in their music.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Wonderful. And for somebody who's accomplished quite a lot of moves within their career so far, where do you see yourself, say, in 20 or 30 years down the line as an artist?
As I tell everyone, as an artist, I don't know about as an artist.
Okay.
But in 20, 30 years, I'm supposed to have a company running a company, as I keep saying, because the aim is to get people employed, but to employ people that can actually elevate to do. It's like having an umbrella. And under the umbrella, it could start with 5 companies, and then it's 500 companies. But under that one umbrella, so everybody's got their own thing expanding on, maybe in a different direction, where they can employ people, where the employability doesn't stop. You know, where we more become suppliers, less than consumers. You know, more people start doing supplying. You're supplying something that people need and want. Not just music, something where them need and want, you know?
Well, it's about being using your skills, like utilizing your skills, because you were given your skills for a reason. It's not just to sit in a cupboard somewhere.
No, it's just like music, you know. The music is a skill. A lot of people say, yeah, I'm going to do music, because they're talented in the sense of they can deliver music. They might not write the greatest songs, but they can deliver music, or they got a little flick about them or a style about them where they might stand out around the 10 people that they're around. They might be the front person or whatever that, you know, has got the most flexibility or whatever. But music is a thing where it's a career. And to have a career, you need tools.
Yes.
Yeah, and in order to get those tools, you need people around you that's willing to help aid you get those tools. Otherwise, you become a burden to the people around you to get those tools. And it seems like you don't want to do nothing with your life. Yeah, so it's like, you know, it's a hard road. So it's one of them things there. So you have to go and work, get money, and you have to have good people around you that see that there is something in what you're doing, and you ain't actually wasting your time. Otherwise, go work at McDonald's or something, do something. You know what I mean?
Or something else with your
Yeah,
life.
definitely do something. You can't want a career if you're not in the position to have a career. You got people going out to work. So that person who might be helping you with your career is going to work. They're giving you work money towards your career to help get equipment, to help get you to an event, to whatever it is. So with that, you have to serious about your thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be
Can't go
serious
in
about
there
it. You can't be on a
half-hearted.
joke thing. You understand? 'Cause
Yeah.
you're wasting away your life if you're on a joke thing, and you're wasting away these people's life because they could have put their money to better use.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I want to talk a little bit about something else, and a different aspect of your creativity. And you produce your own clothing brand.
I do.
And I'd love you just to tell us a little bit about what this brand is about, why you started this journey.
It started off where it's like I started off with my mom's company called Full House. And when my mom died, she didn't leave administration for me to take the company over. So it was my mom and dad that opened a company and that. But so what I did is I changed the name from Full House to FH New Regime, and that's where New Regime comes from in my policy and my business and what I do and everything else. Because I own this regime now, basically.
Oh,
Me, I
that's
run it. You get what I mean?
Mm,
So with
blessings,
that, that's where
yeah.
Young Ruler Recordings come from. That's where Pure Natural Studio come out of. All of that. But with saying that, I started making T-shirts to reflect New Regime, so people can get used to the logo that I made and the new entity and what we're trying to push forward, and changing the genre from just reggae to dealing with R&B and rap and everything else. So with doing that, I had to make like a promotional campaign, so to speak.
Yes.
So I had to make like 2 boxes of T-shirts.
Yeah.
Out of that, I wanted to sell them, but I had to give away maybe 90
Yeah.
just to get
Marketing.
people, just to get people in them and take pictures of them in them and stuff and whatnot. And with that, they could see the quality of them, so they came back. Maybe about 40 something out of them 90 people came back and started buying for themselves.
Oh, wonderful.
So it was good, and they liked the logo and so forth, and so that's where it started. And then through that was basically around record company and media. I wanted to have something that was just where the actual name isn't about my music or anything,
Yeah.
so a person can wear it as a brand.
Yeah.
So I made Pink Fox, which was for females. I made Dirty Laundry,
Yeah.
which was plural for everyone. I made Ja Vinci, which was like how you got Ga Vinci.
Yeah, I got that.
But
Yeah.
I made Ja Vinci, and with the concept of that, I was supposed to get an Italian person to do the advert with their accent saying the Ja Vinci, you know?
Yeah,
and give it
yeah.
that sort, and them wearing it like in Italy, but I didn't do it. I didn't follow through with that. But then I still got a brand, but I didn't follow through with how I was going to campaign it. And then I came with New Regime clothing, and then I got made by experts, and now I got Taylor Swift.
Okay, Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Because I do tailoring, so you can get bespoke clothing from us, like.
Okay.
So we don't just do printing service.
Okay, you also wonderful. And is that will there be other areas will you be doing like soft tailoring, or is it more?
Yeah, basically what I do, I run a printing service, plural, and with the printing service that we got with the screen printing, we do vinyl printing, we do direct garment printing, we do fabric printing, we do we make things like Moonpig, we make birthday cards and
Okay.
mouse mats and canvases and things like puzzles and stuff like that with pictures on them. Do you know what I mean? So you have a picture of your kid, your baby that's just born on a puzzle.
Okay.
A 20-piece puzzle. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And things
cute,
like
yeah.
that. So we do all of that. We do wall art, car graphics, stickers that can go on bottles, like the labels for bottles and things like that. We do all of that. Anything to do with printing.
So it's a very wide ranging.
It is.
You've
Leaflets,
got a wide
flyers,
scope.
websites, graphic designing we do for CD covers and all that. I do a lot of that. I've done a lot of people's logos up and down.
Okay.
Designed their logo for them.
Okay. And are you wanting, or have you taken this brand outside of the UK?
I have, yeah. I've taken it to Switzerland. I've taken it to France, Germany, America.
So it outlets in all those places now.
At present, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give thanks. That's wonderful.
Looking more people. So anybody interested in the stock in the brand, there's an Instagram. It's called Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift. Taylor_Swift 1. If you look it up, Taylor is in Tailor, because I'm not the singer Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And what advice would you give, for example, to say a new person? So say somebody who's up and coming as a musician or a DJ, something like this.
All
What
right.
would you say to
My
them?
advice to you: leave it alone. No, I'm joking. No, my advice to you is perseverance, innit? Because music is, people need to understand, really, you know. Music is not a nice business, you know. Music is a bad mind business, you know.
Yeah.
Out of all aspects of something to do as a career, this is a very dirty business.
Yeah.
You know, it might seem glossified on the outside and whatnot, but it surely ain't. And it's, I think that, as I said, that in one sense, the higher monkey climb. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. You see this thing here? The higher you climb, listen, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a strong mind and heart, and you have to you have to
You need to be clear from
you
the
have
outset.
to be very strong, especially as a female too. Very strong. You know what I mean? You have to be able to come pull that blanket down. If you take emotions, if you take everything in an emotional way, you're gonna end up in trouble, because you're gonna lash out on somebody because of how they've come across. Do you get what I mean? Because people in this business they're not nice. You know what I mean?
Cold.
I'm not saying that people mustn't do it, because it's not everyone in this business that's not nice, but plurally, it's one of them business there where it's like, unless you overly show your worths and get your finances in order, because that's part of it. Getting yourself registered, getting yourself up on the platforms that where people can get to see your stuff and recognize that you're a registered artist. Unless you can get yourself into those arenas and whatnot, people don't take you serious. When you get in those arenas, now you got to start working for people to take you serious.
Why do you think there's so many politics, especially in this sector? So let's talk about reggae, for example. There's a lot of politics in reggae. Why do you think? It's especially coming from, quite a lot of it is coming from our people.
Yeah,
so
bring it back to what we were saying a little while ago. Being demoralized and being stripped down. All right, England was Jamaica is where the music come from, yeah?
Yes.
Right? In that essence, yeah?
Yes.
So we all know it's from Africa originally, but
Yes.
let's keep it on the basis of where we are. Jamaica's where the music comes from, but England is the hub. England used to be the hub, I should say. Back in the day, artists used to come to England to sign the deals to do what they're doing. It wasn't really America, it was Britain. Yeah? And with saying that, they broke the platform, like what we said. There isn't, like pressing plants and real vinyl industry. They got rid of it by getting rid of the vinyl industry in Britain. Reggae doesn't have a platform. It doesn't have a standing. It doesn't have an area. It doesn't have an arena. There isn't allocated places and events really in Britain of reggae that stands up. Like you have a Sunsplash, or you got there isn't nothing here.
Not on the same
Do you see
level.
what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had a scene for lovers rock. You had a scene for reggae. You had a scene for roots.
Yeah.
You had a scene. Black
it's
Hero,
true.
everybody used to be here. There's no one don't need to come here really, because the scene is not here. What you get from Europe, and it sounds horrible, because I got to live here. I love here. This is my place. But I don't get what I'm supposed to get from here as an artist. And it doesn't mean that I won't go and perform at an event. Of course I will. Do you get what I mean? But I don't get what I'm supposed to get from here, because it's not me as an artist don't get it. None of us is getting it as people. Because we're
That's
not
true.
enjoying the music here like we used to. Because we don't have the events that we used to.
Yeah.
Because we're not making the events that we used to. And it's that. So as long as it stays that way, England's platform is going to have a problem in regards to music.
So that would mean that, wouldn't you say that there's opportunity for us to actually take the bull by the horn and do, as you were saying before, start to be self-sufficient?
It's monopolized in Britain to be self-sufficient to a degree, though, with reggae, because they broke the industry up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't finish that just now, so the people
Okay.
might have been lost at home thinking, all right, but you were saying a point.
Yeah, go on.
They broke it up, but then what's actually happened is if you got certain families that's left in it, yeah, and with saying that, they're clutching onto what they have, and they're running the business how they can run the business, but that's not making the business grow. Do you understand what I mean when
Absolutely,
I say that?
yeah.
That's not making the business grow. That's keeping the business dormant at a certain place. Having something that's dormant and it has no way of rising or even diminishing. It's just stuck on that one set space. There isn't any change around it.
Well,
It's like take a Jamaican restaurant for not restaurant. That's wrong. Takeaway. Take a Jamaican takeaway.
Yes.
For instance.
Yeah.
They all look the same. As in, when you go inside, the food's displayed the same way.
But isn't that about safety in what you know?
It's no, because
What would you say it
safety in what you know has never got anyone anywhere.
Well, no, but
That's so what? So why are you going to do that as a people? Where's it going to carry you?
but it is what people do, though.
No, not
within
really. I don't.
You don't, because
No.
you're free-minded.
But the whole point is my whole family's free-minded, and I ain't the only. My family ain't the only family that's like that.
Yeah, but
what I'm trying to say is, if everything works in numbers, right? So if we're all gonna individually say, yeah, I can do this, or I'm gonna make it, or I'm gonna do blah blah, we ain't gonna get anywhere. Individually, you're not going to do nothing. It takes numbers. Yeah?
Yeah.
If you go to a park to go enjoy an event in Britain, that park is not owned by the government. It's not owned by the area. It's not owned by a family. It's owned by a trust. And if you look into that trust, that's like 26 families. That's people coming together.
But we don't
That's
do...
people coming together.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If we came together on a... Just like how you got mobiles and whatnot, if we came together on a proper standing, we could build a platform back for reggae right now. Within 2 years,
Yeah.
reggae's got an international name in Britain, and the charts from Britain will influence the world. Because that's how it was in the beginning, and that's how it can be again.
Yeah, because
You know?
because we've got we have to be honest and fair,
Of course.
because we do have the examples there, like with what you're saying.
Yeah.
That the elders, when they first came here, they did do those things.
They've
They
done
did
the
pull.
groundwork.
Yes, they
They
did.
put in all that groundwork, and for what? Do you see what I mean? Jamaica's been diminished in regards of reproduction and of music.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Everything's become computer based, right? All right, they burnt out vinyl and took away vinyl from us, right? As in, I'm not talking black people. They
No,
took away
just
vinyl, period.
yes,
Yeah? And
yes.
taking away vinyl, what they done was brought it to CD. And that's with Steve Jobs and Apple and so forth, brought it to CD. I'm bringing it to CD. What's happened now? CD's gone. They don't make car stereos with CD no more. They don't make house stereos with CD no more. They don't make computers with CD drive no more, because it's been abolished. So now it's gone to streaming, and people's putting stuff back on vinyl. Now we have no pressing plants of our own.
Yeah.
Look what they did.
Yeah.
So now, who owns reggae now? When you don't have the pressing plant to press your
Oh,
own
reggae.
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the point I was getting to, of where I say they demoralized the business and took it away. The easiest way to damage a person is to take away their tools.
Yes, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And that's, I mean, for some of our people, especially in the UK, you'll find that they're not always comfortable. Some people are fine, but some people are not comfortable with the takeover or the, appropriation that's happening outside of our community within Europe. But it really goes back to the point that you were saying about who owns the actual
Of
pressing
course,
plants and so on.
Jews own music,
Yeah.
plural. No matter what genre it is, they own music. Yeah. So, all right, on a level, you want to teach your people them, and you want to teach your ones and ones.
Yeah.
And if you're not giving them some songs what's talking about love, and at the same time you're giving them some preachings in the love, they're gonna flag it down,
Yeah.
because they own the music. So when it reaches to a certain place, eventually, you're gonna do your road, but eventually they're gonna start putting flaggers on you and start demolishing you. Where now people can't come to where you are because you can't get to them, because they're trapping your movements now. Now you can't travel. Or outside of that, the message you were sending, the ways you're sending it now, they start messing around with the platforms you're sending it on. And it's things like that. And that's because of individuality. As people on a whole, grasping to stuff, it
Yeah.
makes things a bit different. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you're preaching something of, not even say preaching, but if you're pushing something or telling people something of a good stance, of good standing, there's not a problem around that. But the problem is the demoralization of how the world's going right now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you have to do things within a certain
as
way.
as a unit. That
Yeah.
I mean, especially on this station, is constantly talking about unifying and doing things productive and constructive together. You know, and I think that definitely is the way forward when people can work together constructively. But then it's about having a humble spirit to be able to do so that you can work together and set aside these
The deepest
attitudes.
part about of it is British people, British black people,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
or people who come to Britain and become British black people because they come from somewhere else and they never think that way before them come to Britain,
Yeah.
yeah, are different to black people in America, so to
Very.
speak, yeah. Black people in America are clued up on being black.
Yes. 100. Yes.
Black people in Britain
Are not.
are not. I don't care what anyone says at home right now about what I'm saying. Because at some point, if it's going to burn them what I'm saying, I'm right. And if it don't burn them, I'm right. Because, you know, the people would be black in Britain. I'm not saying they're not black, but they'll be black. But then there's a point where you won't be black.
Well, we
Do you
only have
understand
to.
what I'm trying to say?
You,
know?
let's just
Because
say.
you don't make your blackness come through.
Yeah, because let's say, I think there's a book that Frantz Fanon once wrote, and it's called Black Skin, White Masks. And I think for people, those who are disagreeing with your point and with the overstanding, should really read literature like that
Yeah.
of people who studied it from a psychological perspective and actually overstand where the mind is at
Yeah.
with this double consciousness that we do have over
Of course,
here.
a lot of people whose black has power in the sense of, in the field of racism. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They feel powerful because of, you know, in these kind of arenas. But the other arenas where their power's really supposed to shine, they hold themselves back. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Or they might display themselves in a way that the person's expecting them to, instead of changing it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? You
Again-
pull the goalpost away from
Yeah.
where a person assumes that it's going to be. They have to deal with you different.
Absolutely.
They have to find another way to deal with you. Have to. There's no two ways about it. If a person thinks that, you know, someone thinks that they know you, they get too familiar with you, and they say to themselves, you know, say if me tell Empress if you do that thing, yes, I gotta do it to them. You know, and
Yeah.
they come and you tell them no. They don't know what to do now, because in their mind they overly convinced themselves you were gonna say yes.
Yeah. But
And
that's
it's
that's
that.
assumptions. It's
Of
this
course,
assumption.
yeah, but it's that. It's like someone will go into a place and they might not get through as they were supposed to. They're subconscious now on leaving and walking is because I'm black, or it's because I don't speak like, or it's because you know, you can't knock yourself like that all the time. A situation comes up because of your skin color or whatnot. That don't make it, and that's what weakens people too.
Yeah, because it's actually allowing that to embed into your mind.
Of
so
course.
you start to believe
You're embedding
that.
the same story that they're feeding you because
Yeah.
they're the ones who control the media now. And if they put something on telly, for instance, that you're not supposed to see, you're not going to see it. So if you're going to see something on there that's going to infuriate you, it's put there to infuriate you. So therefore, it's for you to control your emotion.
Yes.
You see what I mean? And find a diplomatic way to deal with yourself, you know. But like what I was saying on racism, 'cause I'm not a racist person, you know.
Yeah.
You understand me? I understand the struggles between black people and white and every other nationality. I understand
Yeah.
what we have to go through as a people and everything too. I understand what we have to go through. I understand the past.
Yeah.
What people need to understand now is the future
Yeah.
and the present.
You see, for me, I don't actually think. I mean, people always go on about a black-white issue, and I actually think it's not just a black-white issue.
it's past
It's an
that, man.
issue
It's bigger
of
than that.
ignorance.
That's exactly
so,
what it is.
You know, you can come from, Estonia, and if you can have that same pigeonholed mindset, and that's to do with several things. One, a lack of
Ignorance.
education.
Ignorance is ignorance. Yeah?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
when a person ignores something, or you know, people don't, when there's something you don't know, you're ignorant to what you don't know until you know it.
Yeah, this is very true.
That's just what you know. It's knowledge and wisdom in it. The more
Yeah,
knowledge you have,
absolutely.
the more wisdom you have, the more teachings you can give, and it's the more plural you understand life.
But this is again, this is where it comes in about the difference between the child who has lived in more than one place and the child that hasn't. Because the child that has lived in more than one place, as we were talking about earlier, child that when they become an adult are more open-minded and able to interact with people from different places. When we look at His Majesty, he was able to interact with all sorts of people from across the world. He modernized Ethiopia, but at the same time, what did he do? He maintained his cultural integrity, and there was no shimping and shaking or sitting on a fence or putting on slippers that don't belong to you. He remained true to who he was. Now, I think that's the best example.
Yeah, but that's what it is in life. You have to stay true to who you are, because look, a lot of people in life, as I said, I lost my way at some point too. Do you get what I mean? It happens. It's life. I came from not even say a house. I came from a family of a lot of teaching, and yet I still found my way doing some things I shouldn't be doing, or in arenas I shouldn't be in. God, you know, I consider myself a prince growing to a king. You understand me? And with that, we're not in a certain realms.
Yes.
With the energy level where I have on the powers and the rich heritage me I come from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I see it within myself. So, you know, I'm a melanated person. So with that, I done certain things I shouldn't have. But everyone ends up in arenas sometimes that they shouldn't be in.
Yes.
It's how you deal with those arenas, and it's how you deal with your life. I'm only happy with myself now, how I'm living, because my thoughts were always the same in the sense of what I want to do, but it's how I was going to get there. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's how I was going to get there. It's like traveling a journey across a field, and there's a designated way to go through the field, but I've taken the wrong route. And the route that I've taken across the field, I assume I could have went that way and it would have been easier, but it's turned out to be not worse, it's turned out to be more of a learning curve. Yeah,
because there was a river you had to cross.
You know, and it's taught me. You know, I might have learned some lessons the hard way, but it's taught me nevertheless, in order to be able to administer myself in a better way for people.
And I think that's a good, when you know, you're an individual who has, especially for a creative mind, to have gone through lots of different things, like not just lived in different places, but also to have maybe gone off the path which others may have wished you to remain on. You went and chose your own path. I think that's good. You went out into the world and you learnt. Now you're a wiser person. For those who have good foundations like yourself, train up a child in a way it should go. So
True.
You didn't actually completely fall off the wagon.
No, I didn't. But with just like what I was saying, like being that I've traveled and I've seen people and I've seen different lives, that can help, but it can also be a downside, because when it's like being in Jamaica, and you might be seeing people struggling around you, or you're seeing certain lifestyle, and then you come back here and you see certain other lifestyles where it can make you not greedy, or it can make you see money in your eyes. You understand what I'm trying to say? Where you're not thinking about people's feelings, emotions, anything. You're just thinking about what you can reap.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
But that doesn't just have to be money, though.
No, it doesn't. It can be a person's life.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? You're trying to live them. You want to be them. So you're taking their life away from them. There's so many different ways, you know, that we can damage each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean? By trying to be selfish and trying to do things individual. Where plurally, if we was to do things together more, like what I was saying, we can build communities, we can build better arenas for ourselves. You know, we could do a lot more stuff, man. Naturally, we got talent. Do you see what I mean? But it's how the talent's coming out.
Well, it's applying it, as you were saying, and applying your skills, and also finding people with the same skills as yourself, as you were saying. Surround yourself with the same type of people in order to start learning from those who know better.
Yeah.
And actually walking a path to develop yourself in your unique way.
Yeah.
Because you find a lot of people move in certain circles and there's a lot of repetition. And it's not about repetition, it's about finding who you're supposed to be. Like, so if you've got a skill or talent, what is its style?
That's exactly what it is. When I was young, like when we were finishing school and that, we weren't even finished yet, but you're reaching to that point where you start to choose what you want to do with your life, kind of. And like the first steps of what you're going to do with your life. If you're going to get a little corner job, or, you know, like work in a clothes shop or whatever, go college or whatever it is. But at that stage where one of my friends decided, say, he wants an apprenticeship to be an electrician, next one wants to be a plumber, this one wants to be a, you know, sound engineer or whatever it is. I didn't know what I wanted to do. It's like I could do like everything that everyone says they want to do. I can do, but I was never a master at anything. You know those ones? So it's like you can work in every arena, but there isn't an arena that you say, I love that arena, and you overly put your 110% into there. I didn't do that, and it used to bug me, like, I don't know, maybe for about 6-7 years. It was something that was really on top of my mind, like, you know, like, what are you here for? What's your purpose? Like, everybody have a purpose. What's yours? Because it's coming like you ain't defined it yet. You
And
know?
that's a truth. That's a statement a woke person has, and a very highly creative person. You find them asking that question a lot.
You know, and it bugged me for a while, man. And in between that time, I done music and all the rest of it, but I wasn't taking music serious. Music wasn't something that I said to myself, I'm going to do for my life. It was something that I was born and grown into. It was just something that was there. You know, I saw people coming in and out of my house, and I knew all of these people, and it was something that was there. It was part of life. So I didn't see it like that. I still didn't know what arena I wanted to be in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's different when you grow up, because people just assume that because you grow up with certain individuals. So, like for you, your dad, Gregory Isaac. So for people, they'll assume that, oh yeah, you got handed all this musical training on a plate, and you did this,
that's the thing.
but they're not realizing you were still a child who grew up in a home.
And even saying musical training, you see, this is another thing where people get their thing confused again too, because my dad never went to no singing school and all of these kind of things. It wasn't that kind of.
It's just a natural.
It's a natural singing thing. So he would be, you know, that man walk around the house and sing. You know, naturally people sing. Like you have Heptones, Diamonds, all of these people grow, they're just singing. You're there in your ear and you sing, you catch a vibe. And with that, some people can sing, some people can't sing. You get the opportunity if you can sing on a record, you're not going to say no.
It's
You know
true,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
You're living in hard times, and you got an opportunity to actually envelope yourself, so you're going to do it.
Absolutely, of course you
know,
would.
But with that, I didn't get no personal one-to-one training, like, you know, but at the same time, yes, I did get coaching. Because when I was younger, I did sing. I used to sing in Harlesden. My mum used to carry me out on a Saturday. And we're going shopping. I used to sing outside Hawkeye record shop every Saturday.
With your mum?
Yeah, every Saturday. People in Harlesden know this. Every Saturday I used to sing outside Hawkeye shop until I got tonsillitis. And I didn't want to cut the tonsil, so I left it. That's how I got into DJ business and started, you know. Because I said, I don't think I got the voice to sing anymore, so I started DJing, and then I stopped doing music totally. And as I said, but now, you know, I just do what I do.
And how's your singing style changed over the years? Like your voice, how has it changed as you've developed?
I think I've always had a shaggy voice, like a Barry White voice. So my voice has always been, you know, it's got like a monotone, a deep tone in it that I can go into. That maybe the average artist don't have that deep tone. They got a lighter tone that I might not be able to catch. You know?
Can you give us a little?
You know, like there's enough songs I listen to, and I might be singing it and I'm singing away with it, but I can't catch that like that. Do you get what I mean? I'd like to have that voice in essence, but you know, people listen to my thing, they love my thing, innit? The people them that's around me love my stuff because they're the ones who's influenced me to push my thing even more.
Yes.
But nevertheless, it doesn't mean that they're in a style out there that I love.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wouldn't mind have had that voice. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You know, I listen to enough songs and I sing them, and maybe I might not have the voice for that, but at the same time, I've got a tone that they can't go into.
Yeah. I think you should give us a sample, actually.
Yeah, I can get a sample.
Okay.
That song was, I give you a piece of a song where it's close to me.
Yeah.
It's called Mommy Told Me. It's on a Rasta Muffin album, which people can purchase now because it's out there in the world for you to buy on all social media. Our digital distribution center have it. Mommy told me that a lot will hate. Mommy told me as a you will live your life straight. Not get caught up with reprobate. Clear your mind and elevate, and dirty life no penetrate. Enough will love, yet still some will hate. My voice and my style I'm try to emulate, but I'm original, so me can't imitate, irritate, can't box a food out of my dinner plate. Born from a veteran, you not have to rate. Born from a veteran, no way you cannot hate. Mommy told me don't lose the faith. Life it is not a race, but take your time, achieve and don't move in haste. Take life with a pinch of salt and a butter taste. No matter where you reach, you can't lose the gutter taste. Might they in a better place, I eat off a better plate. But where you come from, it is a place where it was never great. Yeah.
Ah, wonderful. Give thanks. Wonderful. So, yeah, thank you for that. So that was Jay Now giving us a bit of freestyle in there. Bless Radio. Wonderful. So, I like that you've got this wonderful rhythm. Not everybody's got that kind of catchy rhythm. It makes you want to sit up and, start to... I could feel my shoulders going there, my foot tapping, so you have that effect within your vibration.
I try to. That's the energy I want to give people. I'm bringing people back to a time where black bags on the window are dance, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and in the dance you still have to use light from your lighter. Because you don't know, say it's daylight outside,
Yeah.
Full enjoyment, like you enjoy yourself, right? You not even watch the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing people to a time like that. That's the time I remember that was good in Britain. Where people used to just go out and enjoy themselves. You got a bottle of brandy, all 10 of you's drinking from the bottle. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. People all who don't know you all give you juice, and you just enjoy yourself. People just come for full joy themselves, if you say.
Yeah.
There's no tension.
Because I remember seeing on one of your tracks, the video to the track has a lovely feel to it, because it reminds me of Babylon.
Oh yeah, it was Babylon.
Okay.
It was Babylon. I used a piece of Babylon at the beginning to show like the little racial connotation that used to be here, but then it showed you at the same time within that same clippings, white people with the black people enjoying themselves and loving reggae and ska.
Yeah.
So there was, it shows you the different entities that it's, it's not a racist thing. It's a, as we said, ignorance.
How do people? Can you give the link out so that people who want to actually listen to more of your tracks in the comfort of their own homes can actually get to you? Yeah.
If anybody wants to get to me, you can find me on www.youngrulermusic.com. Yeah, you can get me upon youngrulermusic.com, or you can find me on Facebook. You can look me up under Neil Watson, or you can find me under J91. I think I J91. Yeah. No, Young Ruler or J9, it will come up, yeah? I better still just Google me. Because if you Google me, it will show you every social media what I'm on. Because I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, as in YG Ruler on Instagram. And upon Reverb Nation and all of the rest of them.
That's why I was listening to your tracks. Fantastic. And what have you got coming forward for the future? Is there an album?
There's a lot of work. I was supposed to put out I really was supposed to come out tomorrow, which is my mom's Earth Strong, God rest her soul, but I never get it in time due to the moving up and down. I didn't get to meet the deadline that I wanted to meet, so I put it off for a few weeks, just so we can get some little more promo in there, you get what I mean? And put it out for next month. So I've got the Ital Grade Rhythm coming out next month, which features like the Russ Ranger and Lyrical Facey, Leroy Simmons, and one of a few artists. I've got the Sex Drive rhythm, which is coming out, which was a rhythm that was made, and the title was already made, so I couldn't really change the title. But I wasn't really happy with the title.
Yeah.
But I was happy with the rhythm. But
Okay.
nevertheless, that's a rhythm that's coming out. It's got very, very good rhythm, very good artists. I just wasn't happy with the title. But that's coming out also in the next 2-3 weeks. I have an album coming. It's a collaboration album. Which has got like me, Pat Kelly, Winston Reedy, Todd Hunter, Ekotan Jarrett, Russ Ranger. You know, quite a few people gonna be on this. Where I've got quite a few, Chucky Bantan, I've got quite a few of the tracks done already. But I'm still waiting on some to come in. But, you know, like Tenor Star and one or few people. So when that's put together, that's gonna be a very, very, very good album. That's coming shortly still. Because as the last set of tunes them coming, it's not gonna take long for it to get mixed and mastered and be up. But I've got an album coming at the beginning of the year with me and my father.
Wonderful.
You know, which is something that
And do you have a title for that album?
yeah, it's gonna be called Caliber.
Caliber.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the title that we have at present. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be called Caliber, but with this album here, it's gonna be going for a bigger entity. Do you get what I mean? So some other companies are gonna be involved. So the name might change. Do you get what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah,
Depending on
absolutely.
people's influences, and you know how this thing goes.
And how does it feel working on as a musician with your own style, working on tracks that are related to your dad, working on content that he had?
Man, that's an honor for me, and you know, it's like, don't get me wrong, you know, my dad wanted me to work on so much stuff,
Yeah.
but it's like, 'cause I said something earlier on about taking myself out of music, but I didn't
Yeah.
say why. Yeah,
Okay.
I went on a stage in my hometown, and what happened is, where I should have been in the position to please my people, them, and give them what they wanted and what they, you know,
Yeah,
what they know
yeah.
me to do. I couldn't speak. I was on
Oh.
the stage and nothing came out my mouth.
Oh, really?
I had them, I got stage fright somehow. I just
Oh.
had the mic and I could not speak.
Oh.
And
Well, it happens to
it
the best
worked
of
out
us.
like 60 seconds, 120 seconds, and I'm still not saying anything till I had to put the mic down and just walk off. So,
Well,
so I just
that's
stopped.
an-
Yeah, it was like, it was something that I couldn't get past, and I just wouldn't do music. Do you get what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, my dad wanted me to do music so much, 'cause I was good, and I always just, when I'm around the studio, I'm always vibing and
Yeah.
I would do stuff, but then I wouldn't do none because I don't want to go on stage with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah,
go on
yeah,
road.
road,
You understand what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
It was like that. But I reached a point where I started producing people's thing, and then I said to myself, you know, say it's better if I was producing my own thing.
Yeah.
You know, I produced
Definitely.
all my dad's music and my brother and certain other stuff, and I said I need to produce some things of my own.
Oh, yes.
And then they got rid of vinyl.
Yeah.
So then I was kind of stuck because I didn't know about
Yeah.
the CD world.
Okay.
So I didn't know what to
yeah.
do then. So then I had to get used to that and learn about that and how to deal with it and the production and whatnot. And then I started running studios and that of my own. 'Cause I didn't know how to use like the studio properly before. I could only do arrangements, but now I learned how to use all the software them and how to mix and master and do my own thing. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So
It
it's a
became bit-
development
yeah,
it's a
and then
process.
it became a bit different. So then from there I could develop my own music. So then I got a studio in my house. So as I get a vibe, I can
Straight away,
I
yeah.
can do my thing and then send it on to the other parties involved and let them
Yes.
do whatever they got to do to it, and then it's out. You get what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's that's such a huge movement forward
It is.
to really navigate your career into the right direction.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
I was just so glad to come across certain producers as well, though, that
Yeah.
produced my father.
Yes.
That they were willing to give me content where we can actually reproduce stuff.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean? And
Yeah.
actually make stuff into better productions. Not saying that the productions weren't good before, but what we're doing now can't be replicated.
Yes.
As in, my dad don't have another son that's a DJ.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? My brother them sing.
Yeah.
So we're saying that I can DJ on a track with my father where my brother can't do that. He can sing on it with him, but it's
Yeah.
gonna have a different impact. Do you see what I mean? So what we're doing now is we're doing something that it can't be done again. 'Cause even if they use another DJ voice, it won't be the same thing. 'Cause it's not his son, and he don't have my style.
Yeah. Would you ever do a three-way thing with like your brother, with your brothers and your dad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. You know, me and my brother was on stage a couple of years ago in Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't got a problem doing that. That's something over time people will see these things anyway. Do you get what I mean? Because at the end of the day, as I said, I was out of the music. I'm back in it now, so I'm crafting my road in it. I've got understanding, and I've got style, and I've got development, and I understand things and people. I should have been, not I should have been, or I could have been in the business before, but I'm here now in it. So I've just got to look on it like I've been working in music for years, but my road's starting back now.
Yeah.
So
well, nothing before its time.
Yeah. So with that, when I get certain things under my belt like how I want to, then me and him can do what we are do.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
for now, me have to
just forward
with what I'm doing and make people really get me up in their ears and know what my thing's about and kind of hear my message.
And would you say that Rastafari has been an influence?
No, Rastafari has been an influence all of my life.
Okay.
You know, I've always been a Rast, but I cut my locks when I was younger because too much funky dreaded there in England. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and when it due to that, I cut my locks because I don't come from that world. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's always been a Rasta. It's not about your appearance. You understand me? Or your art. You see what I say? So, yes. So with that, I just decided to change my appearance because I had my ears pierced, and I had, used to wear jewelry, and so I had that sort of look like a person could see me and read the wrong picture from me.
But when you're younger, there's always a lot of exploration.
There is, but how you display yourself to a person in this current climate of how we're living is how a person's going to read you first and foremost, because we stereotype. Yeah, so because of that, I said I'm going to make people see my outer appearance for what I am. Because when a person sees me and sees me as a Ras, a man or a woman, if they got, I wouldn't even say common sense, if they got feelings and understanding in anything, when they look on me, they can say, I ain't a dread, I ain't a funky dread, I a Rasta. Yes. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're
completely
supposed to
different.
See that when them look upon me. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They're supposed to.
Yeah, because I don't want them to get this thing twisted. Mixed up. You understand? Don't come to me no pork argument and you know what I mean? Don't come to me no funny sideways thing. You're supposed to can look in my eye and say that lion.
Whether it's true,
yeah. You see me a real lion, me I look upon yourself.
Absolutely, that's good. Give thanks. So and that's a really good point, because I think that a lot of people get misconstrued about, what a person is just because when they've got their locks. Yeah. They have many different interpretations, and the interpretations very often are quite negative.
Of course, because look, you have man who's got locks out here with not saying that Rasta, have Rasta we have our nose ring and rare. Okay, you go to Africa, you see Rasta will look different to how you look. You see what I'm saying? And you can't tell me I'm not a Rasta, because I'm tell you everything about the life.
Yes.
Where I'll teach you things. So, as him open him mouth, you know him on a Rasta. You see what I'm saying? So this is why people get confused. Yeah. Because when you see people like that and then you see another one, you don't want to judge, and at the same time you don't want to bracketize. Yeah. So these people are dealing with you on a plural level. Yeah. Because that's the only way they see you safe. I don't want to say, I don't want to get political and say, you're definitely a Rasta and you're not just, just got a
fashion
hairstyle.
dread. Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So it's that, and
but
it
we
demoralizes the thing.
Yeah, it does. And I think there's quite a bit of warped interpretations and teachings of what, in the UK anyway, because I've never seen, it's not like this at home.
It is, because
it's very different.
It's not
here.
like back in the day where you used to have, I remember growing up, there used to be a Rasta house in every area. Yeah. And when you go into the Rasta house, they used to have pamphlet them and teachings. And they used to keep classes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And some article Rasta them in there, so. You learn about orthodox and everything. You learn about everything. Yeah. You learn tabernacle and the whole lot. Right now, I don't know no Rasta house them that I can say. And I'm not knocking the Rasta house them that is out there. I said I don't know no Rasta house where me can say still like the ones them when I grow up and I see.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're not there, but the teachings and the levels of the teachings and the way how things used to be as a community spirit, it ain't there.
No, that
ain't
that
there.
bit's true.
You used to have all of the Rasta them in the communities, picnic them coming to that same Rasta house. You see what I'm saying? All the Rasta them in the community used to go to that Rasta house. That ain't how it is now.
Yeah.
You'll have some in the community that will go there, but the whole of the rest of them in the community now go there. Do that. Find a synagogue or a mosque or whatnot in our area and see if every Muslim no got a mosque there.
Yes.
You see what I'm trying to say? And that's the difference. That's where the thing not solid, and that's where the teachings is coming across wrong. Because a man over there so on the left can say something different over there so upon the right.
Yeah. This is true, because if you talk to different people over here, you get different opinions.
A whole heap of different opinions, you know. It's the same thing with Jamaica though.
But this is why when it's
the
been
same thing with Jamaica though, because you will go over Cape Town side of the thing, and it's a certain way, and you go over Sizzler them side of the thing.
It's a different way.
You understand where I'm
Definitely,
coming
yeah.
from? And I'm not saying that they ain't both living to the same type of principles. They got a different way of delivering things.
Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from? And that's just their two sets.
Yeah.
That's not even going up to the real Rust them up in the hills.
Hills,
You see what I try to say? And it's that, you know. So me personally, I just live me live pure. Hence my studio name, Pure and Natural. Me just live pure and natural. I just saw me live.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I try to teach my children them for living at the same way. I don't enforce my children for tell them so them have to have locks or them have to look a certain way or whatever. We give them the teachings from in them art. Yeah? Or them have to deal with them outer appearances down to them. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's like my granny saying to me, you have to go to church, you must go to church, you must turn pastor and you must read this. She ain't gonna do that to me. No. My granny would say to me, look, me would like you come to church. Or me would like you come this week, come to church with me or whatever. She not gonna force church upon me. So I'm not forcing it on them, but me would tell them the teachings when I know. Yeah. So therefore they will follow with the teachings what I'm telling them because they're seeing how I'm living.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You
One
know?
has to lead by example. You have to lead by example in any authoritative position. So if you're a parent, a teacher, in any, a manager, any of these things, you have to lead by example. You can't expect people just to pick up and follow you just because you open your mouth.
No,
you actually have to
you can't
show
have a
the way.
restaurant that sell food and people are coming there and I get food for free.
Yeah.
How you expect for you to make money now then? When everybody know them get it for free. You see what I'm saying? You have to set things by example, just like what you say. Anything where you set, from the first business, it's just like you say, give them some advice. Anything where you are do. If it's money involved, if it's gratification, whatever. Anything where it takes the ability of others to put input.
Yes.
If you want it to be a certain way in at the end, that's how you have to start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So if you sell t-shirt, you can't give it the first one.
No. The
first one they have to sell.
Yes.
Even if you argue at 90, that first one needs to sell.
Yeah. And
If you sell it for £5 and a man give you 2, you take the 2. But it has to sell. Otherwise you ain't gonna be a seller.
Yeah. It's very true. Very true.
Follow by principle. That's how the thing's set. You know what I mean? Manifestation. You know what I'm saying? Where as some live. What I believe is the possibility of what can go on. If I say I want a thing to happen, I say it go.
Yeah.
90% of the time. It might not happen at the time, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, because
I believe in manifestation. Do you see what I mean? So it's.
But that's also about having clarity in what your visions are and the steps that you want to take. And that's why I was saying that and you were saying earlier, Jane, that it's really important to actually find what your skill is.
Definitely.
What is your thing?
That's what's going to define you.
Yeah.
Everyone to do any sort of everything in life you do requires a skill. Putting on your clothes requires a skill. Because if you're putting on your clothes on the floor and you got to sit on the floor to put them on, you ain't doing it right.
No.
It requires a skill. Tying your shoes lace requires a skill. Everything you do, cooking food requires a skill. People think that they don't have an education and they don't really see how far their education goes because the system that they've been given at school to say, all right, you didn't pass, you failed. You failed what? You failed the paper.
Yeah.
You ain't failed your life.
Yeah,
And you ain't
exactly.
failed. You know, but people look at it that way.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
do.
cooking. To cook a meal is a scientific experiment. You have to know exactly how much ingredients to put in, how much seasoning, how long to cook it for,
Yeah.
what not to do in case you burn yourself and so forth. It's a scientific experiment. Not anybody can cook.
True.
You know, you tell a person they might can boil an egg, but you give them a meal to cook. Not everybody can cook that meal. Not everybody can think about the thought process to make that meal. But yet still, if you can, it's a scientific process.
And
so
develop
therefore,
it.
you've got some sort of knowledge of science, measurements, amounts, you know, and that, and it brings you back to maths and understanding and all of these things.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So every day we learn.
Yeah, and each person has that. So, and each person has the ability to
Each
excel.
person, of
Yeah.
course, each person have the ability. I won't even go into that, but each person, trust me, because
Yes.
that's another topic within itself. But you know, people don't tap into even a tenth of the brain. In most cases, you know,
Absolutely.
as a
and I
human
think,
being, you don't tap into more than 10% of your brain in most cases, because life's designed a way where you're not supposed to use more than 2/10 of your brain.
But-
They don't want you to think too much past that.
no. But it's true. It's true, but it goes back again to the same point,
You know,
which is if you're living true
Yeah.
to who you are,
You know
won't
yourself.
get trapped into
Of
that.
course, you start when you start to open up pockets in the brain. You know,
Yes.
it's like some people, they could come across as mad when you see them walking, they're laughing to themselves and whatnot. They're just overjoyed because they've opened pockets in their brain that they didn't even realize was there. That's like going in one of your trousers that you're going to wash and put in the washing machine. You're finding £50.
Yeah.
You know, you're overly
That
happy to
day
know that
is a
£50 in
that's
there.
a
You're like, oh
wonderful
my
day, yeah.
gosh, really? I can forget £50 like this, you know, in a pair of trousers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's that some people are, you know, when I tap into certain things, sometimes I write lyrics, and when I finish the song, I ain't even writing it for no purpose. I just started writing, and I end up writing a whole song. And then when I look back at the song and I'm reading the song, I'm like, wait a minute, where did you get this from? Where has this come from? Because it's like my hand was guided.
Yeah, but that's because that's about being tuned.
You know, it's like my hand was guided. So it's like at some points your brain's not even thinking. You're just writing. It's like your hand already knows what to write.
But this is the you see, I'm a creative myself, so but I'm a visual creative, so I do understand what you mean about this creative process, because there are times where it's not something that you've heard. For in your case, I'm just applying the visual sense to you.
Yeah.
It's not something that you've heard. It's not something that you've seen. It's something from within.
Yeah, it's a feeling.
You actually, you feel it.
You know.
Or you see it, or you hear it in your mind's eye.
Yeah, it's something that it's when I say it's a feeling without you feeling it. Because it's like I've sat down and write lyrics and cry because I'm writing some deep stuff, and the stuff I'm writing, I don't know where it's come from. You know, because I'm writing, and while I'm writing, it's like it's not me writing. I don't know if I'm explaining it right to the people, but it's like it's not me writing. At the end of it, when I've written it and I've looked at it, it's like I was sleeping. And what I'm reading here, I never wrote that. Because if you show it to me 5 days later, I would have told you I didn't write that.
Yeah, but that's the spirit coming out.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I understand
but
what
because
you're
I'm
saying.
there, see, what am I now?
Overstand.
But true, I'm there.
Yeah.
And I've got the pen in my hand, and I'm obviously sitting there and looking on it and reading it back. I know I wrote it, but I didn't write it because I'm reading it and I'm saying, where's this come from?
Yeah, but
because
it's
I've got there's things in there where I'm saying, you don't know that. Where did you get that knowledge from? Where did you learn that?
But do you not think this is about being tuned into your own spirit? So your spirit is tuned in, because you said you live in a natural way.
You more
yes.
time, you know. Are your spirit to guide you?
Yes.
You are
exactly.
the follower, you know. Are you a follower
Exactly.
your spirit, you know. Your spirit to guide you, you know.
And that's why when you look back at something, you're like, whoa, how did I don't remember these things. Where does this come from?
Yeah.
Because you've tuned in. You see, when you're doing this creativity, it's locking into your spirit.
Of course, that's why as an artist you have to watch back your performances.
Yes.
Because whilst you're performing, you are in spirit of some kind, and you need to watch it back to see what kind of spirit you was in. You know, 'cause when you reflect one performance and you look at it to another one of your performances, you can see the differences in yourself.
And that's great as a.
'Cause that brings up the energies with. Sorry, that brings up the energies within the arena that you're in.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember every space where you're going now, there's energies in there, as long as your own.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
when you bring your energy into that arena, it's how your energy gels with that arena.
Yeah.
You know, because there could be some people in that arena with some entities that's overpowering.
Yeah.
I've gone in places where I feel like I want to sleep as I got in there, because it's like something's playing with my psyche.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, someone's energy in there is
It's
rubbing me
off.
wrong.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's that, you know, so people need to be in tune with their self. You need to know yourself and understand what understand what going on around you.
Because you need to be able not to absorb that. Because if you can't,
you have to have blockers, you know. You have to can't block things. You know what I mean? You have to can't close your mind, you know.
yeah.
If you don't know how to close your mind, people can read your mind in one room, you know. Like very easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
yes.
easy.
Yeah.
You can step in a room and, you know, this is what I was saying about powers a minute ago that I wasn't going to say. It's like you can go in a room and you can have a room of 50 people and all of them's got their back to you. And you can specifically look at one person and make that person turn and look at you.
Yeah. It's very possible.
But
Or
it's
you
really
can say
possible.
it is. And you can
You know,
say
it's
you
really
you
possible,
could
yeah.
you could be even something like
People can do great things, you know.
yeah, you can call somebody out of another room without speaking.
All that to it on a telepathical,
Yeah.
you know, basis. Yeah.
There's a
you
lot
know,
of
it's
things
like,
that
and that's the same thing with music. It's like with the music, there's secret messages and signs within every song.
yeah.
You know, you plurally, your ears hear the music one way, but then there's a deeper message inside the song that sinks deeper into you. So if the song's telling you to go, you'll kill the man up the road, and you're that way inclined in some point inside of you, that not even say you're somewhere inclined, because everyone's somewhere inclined in that way, but that triggers alerted inside of you, I should say. This song's gonna drive that trigger and help to influence that trigger. Same way if you've got a song playing and it's telling you something about if you love a woman and, you know, or me miss you and with a love have your back or whatever, and you're in that place of your life, that can help to influence you to,
Yeah,
to,
'cause
to,
it's
to
like-
sort out what you need to do in your life. It is in to, you know, rekindle that relationship or whatever it is, or give back the love that you weren't giving or whatever. Music has a very powerful influence and message.
Yeah, because music is a frequency, it's an energy.
Of course it is.
So when you're dealing with frequency on frequency.
You're dealing with people's lives,
Yeah.
emotions, and you're dealing with people's feelings.
Exactly.
So when you deliver it to them, you need to know what you're giving them.
So this would mean that from a musical perspective, as a musician, you would be a musician can and has the potential to be an energy. You know how they say airbender? Well, this is energy bending.
Yeah, you're a vessel. That's what you are. You're a vessel. You know, most people that are because you got people that are artists in the sense of them can do music, but them are not musician. Because they not eat, sleep, and dream music. You overs?
No, not yet. No, keep going.
You know?
Yeah.
And true to that, there's differences within music. You understand? But music itself, as we're saying, music is something that's not to be taken lightly.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? If you're in the position where you can write songs, so you've got something that maybe say if you knock 10 houses to the left and 10 houses to the right, they can't do what you can do. So there's something within itself.
Yeah.
That means you're supposed to administer a message.
Yes.
And those messages need to be of whatever standing it is. Those messages are going to be listened to whoever's supposed to actually hear them. So you need to know how you're sending those messages.
Yes.
And with them messages, the way I'm see it, there's supposed to be more good messages than
Absolutely.
the messages that
Yes.
I see is going out.
Yeah. Because there's some messages that are not, well, you'd have to say are definitely not inspirational in a positive way.
Demoralizing and deflowering
Yes.
and all of that is not the message.
Absolutely not. And it's
You don't need that platform for that message.
and
That
it's
platform weren't built for that.
no.
You know,
No.
you don't hear Kelly Clarkson and these people talking about killing each other and talking about under this and stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? So I don't see where we're going with that. I
Well,
really
think,
don't.
yeah, because we look at all this new music like drill music, for example, and how it's influencing youth culture.
Of course, because drill music is. I don't like drill music.
No.
Yeah, I don't like drill music. Period. I got family members that do drill music, and I tried to stop them from doing drill music. No, when I say try to stop them, I tell them about it.
Yeah.
You know, like drill music is the music of the beast, isn't it? And it's got bad energies and frequencies, and it's made that way purposely. You know what I mean? It's like when a producer make a reggae rhythm, he's making that rhythm because he want to hear some good upliftment song on it. You know? A Taurus Riley, a Jackie or a Barry Samana. He want to hear something good on him rhythm. Then you have another producer who will make a rhythm and he must say, yo, some gun lyrics more here, some killer thing on this, you know. Where he's directly putting an instrument there to create a problem. That's as good as giving a man a gun.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because your mentality from Jump Street is you want this to be a problematic thing.
Yeah.
You ain't going out there saying, yeah man, this is for everybody, no matter what kind of the topic, blah 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 blah. Just come with a nice topic. I know that you said to them, or you're not putting infringements on the thing and saying, you know, say, I want the music for sound like where I'm gonna want no gun thing for my thing, I'm gonna want. You're not telling them that. You're putting it out saying, yo, want a wicked man tune pan this, I'll be a gun thing. So you're straight away telling people, you want people to put things pan this for influence others to do rubbish.
Yeah.
So you're part of the problem.
Yeah, it's true.
You're part of the problem. You know?
Should take a stand.
That's exactly what it is. You know, because you become part of the problem right there. Because if you tell artists to say, look, I don't want this on my rhythm, and they're hearing that it's the type of rhythms that they want, but they can't talk that dribble on there, they're going to change with what they're delivering because they ain't going to get no rhythms then. You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
The rhythms they want and to actually please the crowd on because it's in that arena or that entity or that producer's thing. I want to work with that producer. You're not going to work with him if he's telling you, say, you can't do X and Y on these rhythms. And that will change the music. It's like me, where I do my things pure and natural. Like no one, I don't do certain music. Man ain't coming in my studio and recording certain things. It's not going to happen. It doesn't happen. And if you send me a file on one of my rhythms and it's derogative a certain way, I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah.
If somebody else around what we're doing decides, say, they want to deal with it, they can do it, but I'm not doing it.
No.
Do you see what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
Not
that's a
saying
good
that it won't
stand.
go out
Yeah.
there because there's other people involved in our production thing. But me personally, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. And that's a good stand to take because it's about having the integrity to be true to yourself
Yes.
in everything that you do.
You won't see me in an alcohol advert.
No.
You won't see me in a cigarette advert. You see what I mean? I
Yeah.
will do advertising and things like that, but I have to know what I'm advertising
Yes.
before I go up in that. Money is one thing, but I'm not going to make money lead me in a
Into
avenues
rubbish.
what-
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to do certain things
Absolutely.
for money because otherwise I wouldn't be on my trail like how I'm on my trail now. I would have used my daddy's name in a different way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that's about you having enough honesty within yourself to know who you are, to be, like I was saying, it is actually just the whole thing, the honesty of being true. Because if you didn't have that honesty, if you don't have any integrity, if you don't have roots, don't you just fall over for anything?
Of course, with everything, you know, yeah. As I said in one of my tunes, is a plural tune to artists per se. Where in the tune, if artists is listen to what I'm saying in that tune, if they ain't got that kind of setting, they will go and sort it if they actually thinking straight. Because in it, I'm saying things like, a lot of people who's up and down and talking about they've got this and they've got that, as in because people's putting a little notoriety into their music right now, whatever it is. It's all good and great, but when you go on an interview and you're speaking, a bit like what I'm doing now, what can you speak about if you don't have any foundation?
Exactly.
You can't speak about anything of any relevance. Your topic is only surface. You can only talk about shallow stuff.
Yeah.
You can't go deep into the entity of music because you don't know nothing about it. You know, down to the genre where you're in. You don't know the people them that was there before you. So what are you doing?
Yeah, it's true.
What are you doing? You're just blocking up the business for people who's really wants to do this, really into this, really is about this. What are you doing? What are you really doing?
No, but it's true. I mean,
Go back, go learn your craft and come back.
Yes.
You see, you know, I saw the thing said, when you see people go for X Factor and Simon, I said, oh, you sound alright, you know, but come back next year, by then you develop. And that's the thing there.
Yeah.
And that's what people supposed to be telling them. You know, right now, you know, your things are alright, you know, but you need to go back a market, go learn how to deal with the fruit them and the veg them and know which one different from different. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can come back on all that style. That's how the thing's supposed to work.
But then people, you see, it's all about, as you said before, consumerism and money.
It is. That's
And
all
this
it
is why we've got so much
know,
politics
People are
within
just
the
shopping an image. They're selling an image right now. They're not selling a lifestyle
and truth.
and truths and rights and you know roots and culture. Them not tell people realness of how to be. They're not telling people what it means to be inhuman.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's not what they're telling people. And that's where the whole thing's gone wrong. And you know, other industries and other music departments will sit back and laugh and will just watch us destroying what we actually had. Reggae is the biggest music in the world, you know, outside of rock.
Yeah.
The biggest music in the world outside of rock.
And and yet we don't own it.
No, but look, check this. You got 10 friends of every different race or nationality or whatever.
Yeah.
Out of the 10 friends you got, would you say one of them's Scottish, one's Irish, one's Pakistani, one's Indian, one's Mexican, one Italian, one Rere. All right. All of those people will try to mimic you or where your family come from to say they're Caribbean or they're African or whatever.
Yeah.
But you will never try to mimic them.
But you don't need to.
No, but this is the whole point. It just shows you that being black and reggae and music goes past your color.
Yeah,
It's a lifestyle.
Thank you very much.
You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? So we're saying that it's the biggest music in the world.
Yes.
Because even where rock is bigger as a music, it's not bigger as a lifestyle.
No.
Reggae, people just want, yes, Irie, cool, yeah, man. You know,
Yeah,
all of that.
then-
That's, what does that come back to? That comes back to reggae.
Yes.
That comes back to a lifestyle of being
Yeah.
a person, you know, and this is what it is. And it's
But that's what
with us, they're just watching us mash it up and laughing.
Yeah, but this is also about how we have not allowed the translation of who and what we are to be defined correctly. We've allowed people to make an assumption.
Yeah.
And this is where we have had our downfall. Why would you allow someone to make an assumption just because they've stood in the sun a little bit?
Course.
You cannot allow that. You have to.
course.
You see, I always believe that you have to be honest with people and tell them the truth. You can't just tiptoe around candy floss in order just to pacify how they might feel. You have to be honest,
And
because
that's-
honesty is the truth of light.
That's the reason why a lot of people, it's like, you know, I might rub certain people the wrong way too, me, because I'm an outspoken person, and I don't deal with rubbish. You know, I'm not a bad man, I'm not a gangster, I'm not none of that. I'm an outspoken person, so my speaking sometimes can offend a one, for the simple reason that if you deal with foolishness, I will say it. Where the next person might, boy, I don't know how my man move, so boy, I don't like them. I ain't got time for all of that. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
straight, say, yo, brother, I don't like that, you know. You see what I mean? Not do that with me, you know, where because of that, certain people don't like that because you're not one that's easily led. You're not one that will follow. I am a Joseph. Yeah, I am a leader. I don't follow in that respect.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Because I remember even one of our holistic practitioners who passed not so long ago, who was Dr. Sabi. I remember he was talking on he was talking on one of his presentations, and he was talking about people wanting him to do this and to do that, and he asked the audience, he said, why would I want to be led somewhere where I already know where I'm going? And I think that's the point. You have to know where you are, where you want to go, so that you are not misled.
And the only way you can know where you want to go is you need to know you.
Yes.
You know, you need to really look. It's like the basic tool that you have at home, people. The mirror.
Yes.
Yeah? Go Google what a mirror really is. Yeah? And don't just look on the first set of answers you see come up. Go look and see what a mirror really is, and how a mirror is really used. And some of you might not even keep one after that, because you ain't using it right. Yeah, you're making the mirror destroy you.
Yeah, because it's not true reflection.
You know, and that's a big problem in people's houses. You go in a lot of some of these big rich people's yards and whatnot, you don't find a mirror.
No.
And they know why they don't have one. They might have a vanity mirror for when they need that, but they don't have mirrors
all
around
over
the place and walking through the passage and my trousers look good. Yeah, they're fitting over my shoes nicely. They don't have all of that rubbish.
Yeah.
Cause you use it the wrong way, and the way you're using it is working against you.
But it's to understand that, and for people to realize it's awareness, isn't it?
Of course, it's self-awareness is a big thing, you know. You know, every year we wait for our birthday to come, you know, and we wait for that month to come, and not nobody, but people don't really generally look at what is star signs, what is birth months, what is an almanac. You know, what is an almanac? How was an almanac used? What is dot to dot? I've got a song about this, and they banned it on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got so much truths in there.
But you see what it is, people, many people just follow, like you said, we live in a throwaway society. Yeah, we do. So people, you know, they say we only have a certain amount of minutes for our concentration, and then, you know, we'll lose concentration. But
that's a lie.
That's because we've trained ourselves into just looking at things without actually absorbing them and really seeing them what they are. Because sometimes you can look at an image and just allow it, or you're just humming away to a song, but have you actually listened to the lyrical content?
That's the thing, you know, you can, when it comes to, because of how life is with the same throwaway society way of living, thinking, being, is apparent. At first it was, you know, it wasn't as bad as it is now, but now everything is throwaway. The TV stops working, I'm going to get a new one, because the repair shop round the corner is no longer there. It's been gone for 20 years. Do you get what I mean? You know, the man that used to could recoil the stereo because the power's just burnt out. All he's got to do is rewire it, the inside, the coil. You can't do that no more. You can't buy the power pack thing to put in the back of it no more. That company that used to supply those closed down because no one ain't buying them. You know, they're buying a brand new thing.
Yeah, so, and then you've lost a skilled worker.
Of course. So because of all of these things now, everything's become different, you know, as you just said. In the way of persons thinking, you know. So it's like in the creative process of making music, where you can go the long way and maybe you're building the rhythm, and you might take certain bits out and you might put in certain sounds and do certain little things, and you might do it manually. Now they're doing it in a way where it's because, and then when you listen to the next song, it sounds the same, because they've used the same thing.
But I think this lack of this taking away people's natural right to be able to think for themselves is, as you were saying, being dumbed down and continuously and slowly but surely removed from people. So
but people are doing it to themselves because
they're not thinking.
Yeah, but that's what it's become, because all right now we're talking to people now, and some of these people's using the method of old school, and I tune in and I listen.
Yeah.
All right. The others, they're using the new method.
Online.
All
Yeah.
right then. So if you take away that online service, for instance, right? Like say for instance, online's good, you know, but it's how you use online, yeah. Like for instance, a social platform. A person that really is constructing and dealing with business,
Yeah.
and you know, like, that's busy doing business. They're not on social media, you know.
But they haven't got time.
That's my point. So when a person, when a person's doing business and they still got the time to be on social media, you're not putting enough time into your business.
Exactly.
Do you understand what
Yeah,
I mean?
absolutely.
Social media is, it's not a form, it's the biggest piece of distraction, and it was put there purposely to distract you. Because if people sit down and think about it, the phones that are obtainable to have social media, it's called a smartphone. Having a smartphone and only using social media, you're not
Being
smart.
No.
I can't even say what I want to say, but you're not smart. Because smart people's not using social media on a smartphone.
No.
You go on a train right now, you see a businessman in his suit, he's still got a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's doing on that BlackBerry. He
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
need
true.
WhatsApp, you know, and
It's
all of
true.
those distractions to take his mind away from his children. And round the dinner table, the phone's on the side of the table, side of the fork.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
It's
know,
true, it's
every
true.
room you go in, you're going in the bathroom, the phone's on the side there. It pings, you're looking at the message while they're trying to cream your skin.
And it's
You know,
interesting. It's interesting that you say that, because there was a photographer who came out, another creative, and what he did was he had everybody freeze frame in their position, so you were just to carry on as normal.
Yeah.
So people at a dinner table, in a restaurant, in different arenas, and he'd photograph them, but he removed the phone out of every picture.
Okay.
After removing the phone out of every picture, this kind of robotic statues, that's all you could see, and people actually look very comical.
That's the thing, because with the phones, you'll have, that's the way of breaking up a family unit, innit?
Yeah.
If you've got everybody in one house right now, people, this cancer epidemic's gone up because everyone's got cancer from their born anyway. But everyone's got cancer in their house excessively right now.
Yes.
Because you've got all of these beams beaming in through your roof for you to get internet
Yeah.
on
yeah.
all these devices in your home. So do you know how much radiation's in your house? You're literally living in a microwave.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's always turned on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So therefore, you're getting sick and you realize, wait a minute, I just got rid of this coal. That's why. Your house is full of radiation. You
Yeah.
can't actually, your element ain't normal in your crib. Go up in the hills around some people that don't have internet and stay there for 1 week and see how you feel.
Completely different,
And
isn't
see how
it?
you feel. Leave your phone and go up
even-
there for 1 week, you know?
Even what we were talking about a little earlier before the show, just even going out of a heavily or densely populated area, so coming out of London, for example,
Yeah.
and going into a more suburban
More
area,
suburban place, yeah.
you'll definitely feel different.
Of course, because you got natural oxygens and elements and
Yeah.
stuff, you know, like we're coming, we're stuck around all of these machineries, cars, everything. All of these things play a part in it, in how your mind is, your day is. Because you have to remember, if I close you in a room and I let smoke into that room, it's going to alter your way of thinking in that room.
Yeah.
You're going to start to behave and do things different because your brain's going to get clouded. Your brain's getting clogged up. So it's not going to function the same.
No.
It's the same thing as you traveling on the road. As soon as you open your door and you go outside, you become different. Straight away. You don't realize it, but you have.
Yeah.
'Cause you're exposed to the elements.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's
you
that.
notice that as soon as, like, say if you've been in the house all day, many people with all these gadgets on, you're quite lethargic.
Yeah, because you're lazy because of the radiation.
Yeah.
There's too much radiation, and when you open the window, you're letting radiation in as well.
Yeah.
Because everybody else around you's got theirs going on. So it's like, you know, the internet thing's, it's gone beyond, innit? It's like, now a person can't leave the home without the phone.
Yeah.
You go up the road and you reach to the train station and you've forgotten the phone. It's like, you know what? I can't go on that hour journey and be out for 5 hours of the day and then have to go for that hour thing later and then come home without the phone. I'm going home for it now. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a part of the body now.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
because
a part of
everyone's
the body
become
now,
so
you know.
dependent
Yeah,
on
once
it.
upon a time you had a phone book.
Yeah.
And you could stop at a phone box and make the call when you need a call. Right now, you just need the phone to have. You might not even have a call to make, just in case I get one.
Yeah.
You know, just in case I get one. And I can go on social media or whatever. You ain't got someone specifically saying they're calling you at 11.
Yeah.
Just in case I get one. But this is how people are living now. The phone's part of your accessories. It's like putting on a pair of trousers.
Yeah.
The phone has to be in the pocket.
Absolutely.
And that's where you find that if you carry your phone all the time in your left pocket, you intend to have, you either itch your leg on the left, you end up with a rash somewhere on the left, or you end up hurting the left because you got radiation going through your body in that same position all the time, man. Come on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Wear a man bag if you're a man. If you're a woman, keep it in a handbag, you know, keep it away from the body at least.
Yeah.
Try to turn it off when you're not using it. When you turn it on, you got an answer machine, so you can get the messages to call people back.
Or things like switching off your internet at night time.
All that. That's what they told us to do when we got internet.
Yeah.
But now people don't do it no more. Before you used to get a microwave and it had a big sticker on it, where it was like an abandoned sticker.
Yeah.
Where you're like, look, you know, big warning thing. Where you're like, should I use this thing? You know what I mean? To the amount of thing. Now you don't get that. You just get a thing with one little dustbin looking thing on it with a cross on it telling you don't throw it in the bin. You get what I mean? Because it can blow up and blah blah. That's all you got on it now. And avoid this and avoid that. It don't tell you that it's you, like when you go to the doctors or the dentist and they're gonna do your x-ray and they get out the room and leave you. Because they know that it shortens your life every time you go through those x-ray things. That's what microwave does. And nowadays people are so impatient, they're looking through the microwave window to see if the food's cooking. So the radiation's blasting you right in your face.
Exactly.
Then you open the door on your chest.
Yeah.
You know, so so people are suckers to themselves, man. They do it to themselves, man.
But like we were saying,
you know, natural life, you wouldn't.
You
if
don't
you're
have
living
to
a natural
deal
life,
with
you're not
that.
supposed to have a microwave.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Or television.
You know, you're not supposed to be using these pots that's got alkaline. All of these things. So, you know, we're preaching to ourselves, but there's things that we need to actually address first,
and
innit?
adjust.
You know what I mean?
You need to adjust them. But we're about 20 past 10 now.
Yeah.
So we're slightly, well, quite a bit over
Quite
actually.
a bit over.
But I wanted to say to you, give thanks for coming
definitely,
into
man.
the
You know,
studio today on
It
this.
was a blessing for their blessing for me. See?
Yes, wonderful. And I'm sure for those of you who are listening, Jay Nile and I will be, I'll be following him. So it'll be like a bit of a trail. So in 3 months' time, and we'll be continuing this
The journey.
this journey, and to see how he's going with his music, where his music's at now, and also listening to some of his new tracks and things that he does along the way. So keep an ear out, and also on social media for when he'll next be in the studio, and we'll be catching up again then. But I'm going to play out on 2 tracks of his, and one is called My Life on the Drop leaf rhythm, and the other one is called New Taylor Suit. I love that. I just love the title of that. Was that in reminiscence of your dad, the Cool Ruler?
No, you know what it was? That was like it's actually the titles come off of a true incident. It's like I made a suit. I got a suit made for me in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And on putting on the suit and going out, I had, not really say problems, but I had some people like bad mind over the suit and the material of the suit. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, yesterday and the day before, me and them are fine.
Yeah.
Now today I got on this tailor suit. You're behaving funny.
Yeah.
So
And nothing's.
you know, so it's like the chorus where I'm saying some man them bad mind a brute.
Yeah.
Should them see me in a new tailor suit. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where that comes from.
So what was My Life?
My life was, that's off a true, you know, most of these things, nearly all of my songs come off of either a third-hand experience, or I'm thinking about something I've heard, or someone's life, or something was out there in public domain, or you know, I write from a third hand, or I write from my experiences. And it's like, with my life, through Gregory and my father, and my mother was a prolific songwriter, and my uncle's Jawosh and all the rest of it, people assume, because my mum's not here, my dad's not here, and Jawosh ain't here, and they all had musical entities of their own. As far as they're concerned, I've got it all.
Yeah.
and I've got the financial gain and the whatnot and blah blah blah. Well, let me tell you something, people. Yeah, for all who think I have the financial gain, you have to remember, if I do get the financial gain, I get the financial problems also. So any money they owed, anything that they didn't finish paying for, any debts that they owed to any collection places, I would inherit that also. Yeah. But just to clarify, I ain't inherited anything because I'm not that kind of individual. I don't want dead left for the simple reason, if you was alive and I didn't want it, I don't want it now you're dead.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's me. So I don't know where it is, who's got it, whatever, I don't care.
But
so that's where my life came from, because people just assume that your life's all right, that you've got
that
stuff
you're
that
cushy,
you
had about 50 servants, all these sorts of
and
things.
they don't realize that there's all days that I've got like interviews to do and shows to do, and I barely got food in the cupboard, or I hardly got money, or do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because I'm living a normal life,
a real real life,
and that's what that is.
Yeah. But like you said, you like to keep it real, so
of course,
it's
you
about
have to be real to yourself. You have to be real to yourself. I prefer to go to my grave knowing to myself, say I only own 2 vests in my life and 1 pair of shoes that I was polishing for 20 years, more than I thief everybody's shoes that I know and jinnal everybody that I know, or stood on everybody's back to get where I wanted to get to. I wouldn't feel good with myself at the end.
No. And also spiritually, once you're passing to the next realm, spiritually you are not doing yourself any favors on the last walk if you've done loads of wrong things.
You can't do yourself no favors in this physical form to be able to do yourself any favors in a spiritual form. You know what I mean? Everything's reflective in life. That's how I know it. What goes around comes around, innit? You do certain things to people thinking that you don't need those bridges again. When you actually find out that you need that bridge, it burns you more than ever. Yeah,
because it's like a frisbee.
More than ever. So imagine what happens when you leave yourself.
Exactly. So on that note, we're going to play My Life by J Now. So here we go.
Yeah, life, you see it. People in my talk and I go on. Well, if people believe that them know my story, true means the son of the legend believes everything good. And I know nothing about me. Yeah. None of them think them know my story. Think me grow up in a life we're full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and I talk, yo. None of them think they know my story. Think me grow up in a life we're full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and I talk, yo. What them know about hardship and bliss vibes? Man, I pray for the days we reach back a good times. A lot of bad people know with them big smile. A long time me no see not a good sign. Some of them sharp like maca. I try flex proper deep down a backstabber. Talking is what them do a lot of. Instead of find out for the truth and consult with the matter, yo. None of them think them know my story. Think me grow up in a life we're full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and I talk, yo. None of them think them know my story. Think me grow up in a life we're full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and I talk, yo. And the insurance now when man a flow. Just about have gas now for reach a me show. Yo, 2 interview at east and 1 day a south. A man broke and barely have food in a me house. Now some man a road say them a talk and them a go. My life is real, I need money like woo. Mommy gone and daddy gone, so me a play smarter. That was a straight at death row and sings it. None of them think them know my story. Think me grow up in a life we're full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and I talk, yo. None of them think they know my story. Think me grow up in a life we're full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and I talk, yo. What them know about hardship and bliss vibes? Man, I pray for the days we reach back a good times. A lot of bad people know with them big smile. A long time me no see not a good sign. Some of them sharp like maca. I try flex property down a backstabber. Talking is what them do a lot of. Instead of find out for the truth and consult in the matter, yo. None of them think them know my story. Think me grow up in a life where full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and attack, yo. None of them think they know my story. Think me grow up in a life where full of glory. They don't know about me life, don't know about me life and attack, yo. And the insurance now when man a flow. Just about to have gas now for reach a me show. Yo, 2 interviewer east and 1 day or south. A man broke and barely have food in a me house. Now some man a road say them a talk and them a girl. My life is real, I need money like woo. Mommy gone and daddy gone, so me a be smarter than what I straight at death row. Me sing say. None of them think them know my story. Think me grow up in a life where full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and attack, yo. None of them think they know my story. Think me grow up in a life where full of glory. They don't know about me life, no know about me life and attack, yo.
This next track coming up is called New Tailor Suit.
Yo, Taylor, why build a suit for me, you know? I come down to your place, see? Yeah, woman are dealing with that thing. She want a man to deal with the thing, right? You see, she want a man that can ride it down like a furlong. That me I say, yo. Girl, them a request the Trojan. Want a man to put it on them, no to the slow jump. Shoot them with that arrow, me say just like a Indian. Want to wine and jump. Yo, I've some little people out the road that say you can't too trust them, you know. Them looking at your face like them are your friend, you know. Go around your back, you know, cause them seen a one new suit. Yo, what do you say? Some boy, them bad mind up road. Say them a soldier, them a real paper youth. See me out the road in a when you tailor suit. General status, me no move man scoot, yo. Tie sharp no like Sabatooth at a fruit. Say me tune them a beat too hard, stop shoot. Girl them say me voice sound sweet like a flute. Young ruler in my brand but I'm part of a group. Like a ship on the rhythm and I see Santa Cruz. We no gamble at all but we choose, yeah lose. We are really in the fish them with a big harpoon. Man real in a life and we no play cartoon. Only smell true, Kalunka we love cartoon. Do music true love but we make fortunes. Life a glitter and a shine like we own a ballroom. Style bright no just like the fruit of the loom. Some boy them bad mind up road. Say them a soldier, them a real paper youth. See me out the road in a when you tailor suit. General status, me no move man scoot, yo. Some people them move like a them run the cruise. Man rich in a heritage more than the Jews. Anything we do, them all the way and we do. Could have music, jewelry, half fancy shoes. But my body in a real life, so no ramp is slow. Man a pro with a pre, no road with a broom. Man keep the thing high, no thing that I do. At the start of the thing, no symptoms of the flu. You coming like come minus the sound of the move. We begin our music, Bruce Lee, Kung Fu. You think now shot way up the ass that I who. You feel disappear, this me say like Dr. Who. Some boy them bad mind up road. Say them a soldier, them a real paper youth. See me out the road in a when you tailor suit. General status, me no move man scoot, yo. Tie sharp no like Sabatooth at a fruit. Say me tune them a beat too hard, stop shoot. Girl them say me voice sound sweet like a flute. Young ruler in my brand but I'm part of a group. Like a ship on the rhythm and I see Santa Cruz. We no gamble at all but we choose, yeah lose. We are really in the fish them with a big harpoon. Man real in a life and we no play cartoon. Only smell true, Kalunka we love cartoon. Do music true love but we make fortunes. Like a glitter and a shine like we own a ballroom. Style bright no just like the fruit of the loom. Some boy them bad mind up road. Say them a soldier, them a real paper youth. See me out the road in a when you tailor suit. General status, me no move man scoot, yo. Some people them move like a them run the cruise. Man rich in a heritage more than the Jews. Anything we do, them all the way and we do. Could have music, jewelry, half fancy shoes. But my body in a real life, so no ramp is slow. Man a pro with a pre, no road with a broom. Man keep the thing high, no thing that I low. At the start of the thing, no symptoms and the flu. Some boy them bad mind up road. Say them a soldier, them a real paper youth. See me out a road in a me new tailor suit. General status, me no move man scoot, yo. Some boy them bad mind no brute. Say them a soldier, them a real paper youth. See me out a road in a me new tailor suit. General status, me no move man scoot, yo.
So give thanks. That was a track called New Tailor Suit by Jay Nile. And I wanted to say to him, give thanks for coming into the Sister Lil show on Bless Radio. You're welcome anytime.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, anytime you pass through.
Give thanks, give thanks. I want to say give thanks to all the listeners out there who lent us their ears for these couple of hours here and listen to his reasoning. And stay locked on. Stay locked on for some other music here coming up. And we just want to say have a wonderful week. And may the Most High guide all and each and every one of you. Give thanks.